Are we rolling, yeah? Okay, guys, so
5,
I'm going to count these in. Hold on.
4,
Yeah, man.
3, 2,
That's a long 5, 4, 3, 2,
1.
1.
Because I'm waiting for you to get ready.
All right, 5, 4.
What's good, my people? Back once again, and why for the back? I started it like that today.
Big Y, man.
Welcome
big
back,
Y.
episode 4. Actually, episode 5.
Well, it's episode 5 of our lives. Let's get it right. We're going into season 1, episode 1 next week. This is episode 5 of the lives, isn't it?
Lives,
yeah. This is a pre-recorded thing.
Welcome back. Big up all the sponsors. You see them behind us. You see them on the table. We've got some fabulous guests inside today. Bang. Welcome to the Breaking Bread podcast. It's Mac and Mac in the building.
As always. And we are going to be talking about, today we're going to be talking about ghosts, apparitions, aliens, energies. Do you believe in aliens and ghosts, that kind of thing? And obviously, we're going to take the piss a little bit as well, because Prems is here. So,
and also, one of our guests is very talented. Stupid talented, been doing music for so much years, so we're gonna go back on.
Stop bigging me up like that, man. You know what I mean?
Everyone knows about you already. I'm talking about him,
Mr. Joe.
Well, let's welcome him.
Thank you,
so we've got Joe in the building, man.
Honestly, it is such a pleasure to be here with you. As Mac knows, like I did the time DJing in Naya Napa, and so this is kind of like a weird full circle for me. I grew up looking up to you, and now we've been friends for years.
And you was like, how old DJ?
God, I did my first show in Napa when I was 15.
Yeah, 15. DJing in Napa when he was 15.
It's just weird in Naya Napa as well, because they don't refer to it as like the good days; they refer to it as the so solid days. Yeah. So it's mad. It's like a whole full circle, me being here, and how long I tried to get you on my podcast.
Trust
me.
So
to be here, I just want to say thank you guys. Honestly,
it's cool, man. Just watch your podcast just for them at home.
Shout your podcast.
So I was for close to 4 years the presenter of the Fat Earth podcast, but they've moved on. They've kind of gone into a different direction now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So,
and I believe that you work with a lot of artists as well, and produce and wrote and stuff for like you've said Fred's and
yeah, absolutely. I've been at this my entire life. My dad was a record producer, so I grew up within the industry. I was signed really young to a subsidiary of EMI, which was the Junk label. Put out a couple of singles, was sort of touted as like the next big thing, but I had some issues.
How old was you? You was about 14.
I was 14, just 14 when I was signed, and we shot the first music video a month after my 15th birthday.
Who was that for?
For Junk. For the Junk label. Okay. Yeah, like I said, God, that's a long word. Anyway, they were an umbrella company of EMI. But yeah, from there, I went on to do different projects, dance projects. Got involved in another project in Cyprus with a band called Grounded. We got signed, and then that all went to shit. I kind of lost faith in the music a little bit, but now I'm sort of. I've been easing myself back in, working with different artists. Right. Yeah, like you said, right. So
you come from a music background, though, innit?
Absolutely.
Talk about your background, where did the music stem from?
My dad's through the 80s was a session musician. For people who don't know what that is, when bands go on tour, they hire in musicians.
They even go in the studio and they're fucking their guitarists or bass players not all to scratch. Let's get the session.
Absolutely, yeah.
I've been a session for a long time, so I hear what they say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So my dad through the 80s, he played with Diana Ross, George Michael, Faith Hill through the 90s.
Big show.
And
big things.
Moved into. As you guys know, the money in life performing, through the 90s and early 2000s before the boom was difficult. So, he moved into music production, went on to work with Right Said Fred, Westlife, all different people around the pop music industry. Yeah. And so I kind of grew up in a house.
Shout out Dad, though. Shout out Dad, man. Big up Dad, you mean?
Always.
Come on,
my absolute inspiration. But going back even further than that, my grandfather played saxophone on the boats coming when his father, when Ireland was all one part of the British Empire, my great-grandfather went over to India to help the British fight the war, and my granddad was playing the saxophone on the boats. So music is just something that it's just a part of us. It runs in our blood, and I've been so blessed to meet some of the most amazing people and some of my best friends.
What are you pointing to
through music? And Mac.
What are you pointing to him for?
Hey, this guy's jealous, Listen.
Hey, what are you pointing to him, man? What is playing PUBG?
You get me? Everyone knows the thing.
When the podcast over,
But but that's it for today. We're gonna when I stop sulking, we're gonna come back. And no, I'm only joking. But listen, no, it's fascinating having you on and hearing a story because, like I say, I mean, you know, to start at the age of 14, I started young as well, and just being music all your life. Even like some people get into music, they get a little record deal and they think this is fucking great. But when you've been doing it all your life, and it becomes a norm, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know the real struggle.
Absolutely.
You know the hours, the man hours that go in are people don't understand what it's like. It like with now, it's easy to go in and the producer sticks a beat on the Mac and the guy gets to the booth, spits it, mixes it down, boom, boom, boom. But when we started out and we had to do it, we couldn't do that. We was in there, you know, your bass, your guitar, your
Absolutely.
drum, your key, you know, reel to reel, cutting the tape, you know what I mean? It was man hours.
I think that wanting it badly enough as well is one of those things. I think you know the kids coming up are so blessed now with social media that they can put these videos out and you can go out to thousands of people, you know,
seconds in it.
And I'm not saying that there isn't the struggle to make it as an artist now, but I just think if you really want to if you want to have longevity as an artist, then you know, it is a struggle. And one of the things I always say to artists that are coming up now that I do AR and PR work with is, you know, like, how badly do you want it? Because there are a million talented people out there, a million talented people.
You know, the key is to try and make timeless music, though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Once the music's timeless, you can always.
Well, we had the same conversation the other day, me and Andy. So we're saying, like, obviously, so we're filming Bougie at the moment, so we're saying, right, so should we shout My Man? And he's like, but B, he's a good actor, but why am I going to pay him 20 grand a day when I can get an exceptional actor for 500 quid?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, all right, he might have a name, or she might have a name, and they might be a name, and they might be an okay actor, but you can get an exceptional actor to come on and do an even better job than them for 500 quid. Do you know what I mean? So it's like...
And video editing. Do you guys remember how hard video editing used to be back in the day? It was a nightmare. Like, people would charge you anywhere upwards to like 20, 25 grand a music video. And that was just a basic music video. Nowadays, kids are doing, you know, quid. What we were doing in the early 2000s in their bedrooms.
I know people
on their phones. What do you mean? On their phones?
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just mental. Yeah. Well, like I say, I mean, if you're going to shoot a video on a phone and you're not going to have all your props and you're not going to have all your, you know, I always say to myself, look, you get out of what you're putting away, and if you want it to stand out from the rest, you know what I mean, and use good cameras, use good locations, you know, make sure that you've got a really good editor, you know what I mean, that's the most important thing, and a good cameraman to start with. You know what I mean. If you're just going to do a basic video, it can still get its numbers, but it is what it is. It's like the labels these days, though. They love all that because they're thinking, well, we're saving X, Y, and Z, in it, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, because labels are not what they used to be now, you know what I mean? We've had this chat, there's no A&R man left. Anyone who calls herself an A&R man to this day, yeah, that's what I say to you. You're not an A&R man when you sit on a fucking laptop looking at people and going, oh, they're all right. Get out, watch them, see them live, watch the crowd, blah, 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 this, that, you know what I mean? See what the numbers.
Absolutely.
A&R, I mean, that social media, and I'm not going to change my mind on it, but the day we lost A&R and all the plugs like Inner Cities and stuff like that, you know what I mean? That's when the A&R man faded out and just went and sat on his computer. It that crashed the industry as well, man. So for all you big fucking labels listening, do put your fucking own work in, man. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of talent out there that can't afford an iPhone 15 and don't know how to plug themselves into this and do that, and you know what I mean. And if you get out there and start watching the bands and the live rappers and the live acts again, I'm sure you'll find better, if not better talent, you know what I mean? Yeah,
I think that works both ways though as well. I think the new artists coming up need to understand that they don't need someone to hold their hand through the industry anymore. You know, you can do a lot of these things that the traditional A&R man would have done at groundwork level, and nobody nowadays is like, nobody's going to come and pick you up. Like through the 90s there was this big thing about we want bands based on sounds, and that's why you've got all of these kind of one hit wonder bands through the 90s who never did anything, because a lot of them were signed on the kind of, we want this sound or we want that sound. It's like, you know, bands nowadays, you can do so much of the grassroots work. Nobody's nobody's waiting around for you. The industry will always move on, you know. So if you're not working as hard as you can, somebody else will, you know. And that to a certain extent doesn't, you know, there are a lot of people I know that sit around at home all day going, you know, why is that person on the television? I'm a better singer than that person. I'm a better performer than that person. But it may just be that person did the grassroots work.
I know somebody who worked on, like, was it X Factor? X Factor in production, something to do with the production sort of it. And I'm not going to say who, but it was a she actually. And I'm going
to say Simon Cowell for
No. Why for that, brother? Why for that? I like Simon's hustle, but why for that? I like his hustle, but why for that, man?
That's his fun, lad.
No. But she told me, innit, because I used to ask her, I used to say, when you see these girls and these guys on there, yeah, you know, I'm going to say the girls because I'm not going to say good-looking guys. I'm going to say good-looking girls. Why for that good-looking guys thing? But when they see and they can't sing, but they get through. And then you see, you know, somebody who's not as pretty, who ain't got that image, and the voice is just, I mean, it is fucking sensational. And they're like, nah. And they was like, it's all about the image. They're not asked about the voice. That was her words. They're not asked. It's all about the image.
In this day and age, they'll go off the following and the platform rather than the actual talent.
As you just spoke, I want to bring you involved. I want to welcome you. Premzy, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, man. You know that, innit, Prems? You know that, innit, Prems? For anyone who don't know Prems, he's got his own channel, Premzy TV podcast. Go and check him out, man. He's a gooner as well.
Oh, we've had a bad season, but it is what it is, isn't it? Like Netflix, we'll come again.
There's always next season.
Yeah, I doubt it with Liverpool in the running. But yeah, you never know. But yeah, Premzy, man. So what do you think about? Do you think people have got it easier these days? In the industry, acting, music, whatever, do you think it's easier to get signed, get a picture, do this, do that, whatever, you know what I mean, get a deal than it was years ago? Would you say, because I know you're a bit younger than us, so would you say...
To be honest with you, obviously I'm not as experienced in the music industry as you guys, but obviously you do have the platforms now, innit? You have TikTok, you have YouTube, all these social media platforms, and the algorithms can go crazy. So 1 minute you could put a video up, you actually might be very talented, and it could just blow like that. Yeah, of course. So back in the day, you couldn't do that, innit? Nah. It's who you knew, innit?
It's who you knew, but you had...
You understand the algorithm, innit? It's like, if your song sounds familiar or similar to something else,
working on a trend,
you're due to get into that algorithm, innit? You know what I'm saying? So,
because what I try to tell people as well, and this is a good point you just hit there, you know, the familiar sounds, right? Do you know how many chords there is? There's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now you got your majors, minors, susses, this, that, and the other, all your diminished chords and all, but there's literally 7 chords.
And most songs today are just working.
And you cannot. Every song is going to have. Nearly every song is going to have a B in it, or a B minor, or a G, or a G major, or a C. So when people say you've copied whoever, look how many. There's so many fucking chords we can play, man. Are we copying? It's original. But it does sound familiar. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, because
diagram, innit? It's in the same parameter, innit?
Do you know what I mean? So if you're playing around a G and a C, there's 20,000 songs in the same playlist you're going to release that track on in C and G, and people will say, "Oh, that sounds like Right Said Fred or Coldplay." It's like, well, I didn't intentionally do that. You don't understand. I've only got 7 chords to work with. Do you know what I mean? That's it. That's all we have is 7 chords.
But it's also down to the individual as well, because it's down to them. If they are consistent with it and they're constantly posting, they're going, and even if they're not getting the numbers and they just keep being consistent, they're the ones at the end that will flourish.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
People that will go for it and then won't see the numbers and drop it. And
do you think the part of that, sorry to interrupt you, but do you think the part of that helps as well? Because I mean, there was such a big thing in our day when we were coming up about, do you write your own music or do you get somebody? Do you think, you know, with TikTok and with all the kind of people not being so afraid to cover songs now, do you think that kind of contributes to it?
It's easy in that, because to be honest with you, nowadays I'm hearing so many people that don't even sound like what they sound like. It's all auto-tune. Yeah. Right. Like, I can't even sing, and I could just sit here and sing.
And then you also got the AI now.
AI do anything for you. Yeah. But the only thing is, so people get this thing twisted with AI. When you use AI and you release a track, they know it's their track. They will come for it. It is not free.
Absolutely.
People have got it in their head. I've made this song and it's free. It's not free.
If you have a big hit with that song,
they are coming for it.
There is terms
and they are still charging you to use that fucking app.
Absolutely.
So listen, stop being lazy. You can use AI to help you out in certain aspects, whatever, yeah. But if you're going to write a whole song and do, then fucking go just do it yourself to the best of your ability, and people will appreciate. I'll sort it out for you, man. You know what I mean? I'll sort it out for you. We get me and Joe will get in the studio and we'll knock a few bangers out. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
No, but like I say, I've got no issue with ghostwriters. I'm a ghostwriter, so I write for people. So it doesn't, and I'm not asking.
Yeah.
As long as I get credited in the contract, and as long as I get my money, and as long as I get my dues, I'm happy. I'm not going to go around and say I wrote that. Listen, I don't need to sign a gagging order because I'm not that type of person. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes, especially with big labels like Sony and that, they're like, yo, you need to sign this in it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we don't need anyone, you know, we don't want to put your name on the CD fucking cover or whatever it is. You know what I mean? But as long as my name's in the contract, I get the credit for writing it and I get what I'm. Listen, I've not got a problem with it. But what I have got a problem with ghostwriters is when you've got rappers spitting bars and somebody else has wrote it for them. That's the bit of the ghostwriting I don't like, because it's like, whoa. You're telling us a story about you. You shouldn't be getting no one to ghostwrite that for you, bro. That's you. You know, that's down to you to come up with them lyrics, to come up with, you know what I mean?
To be your life experience.
That's it, your struggle, man.
Yeah, or something
you know
that you've seen even.
You get me? Because some people don't write about their own self, innit? They write about other people, but it's got to come
It's
from
like,
you yourself.
don't act like a thug to millions of people on social media. Like, man's doing this, man's doing that. When them bars you ain't even wrote yourself, bro. Do you know what I mean? And you're not about that life. That pisses me off. But it is what it is. That's the industry. It sells. It makes the money. So
sells being the operative word.
That's it. You know what I mean? Well, this is what I keep saying to everyone. You know what I mean? It's like they're always going to look at numbers.
Absolutely.
Everything boils down to numbers. Everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, if you was putting a tour on, let's say, we were talking before, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Def Leppard, whatever. If they was putting a tour on in the 70s, what went into that tour? What, 10 tour buses, sound techs, lighting guys, stage rigs, this, that, the other. Do you know what a tour is now? One fucking bus. The two artists and all the mates, you know what I mean, and the stage already set up everywhere they go, and they're like, we're on tour. It's like
I saw Chris Brown recently did his whole world tour, basically live PA, and I was just, I understand if I was Chris Brown, I'd probably do the same thing.
No, I don't agree.
He's so talented.
That's what I mean. He's good. I would want a band. If I'm paying £40 a ticket, I want to see a show. I don't want to.
Underrated though.
Yeah,
he's good. He's good, bro.
The only place I think that might slightly differ for me is, you had these stars.
All right, what would you do if fucking sorry, but what would you do if Axl Rose come out PAing, or fucking the Chili Peppers? You know what I mean? Or you'd be fuming, wouldn't you? You'd be like, whoa, hold on a minute,
100%.
Hold on a minute. I've paid to come and see Guns N' Roses and I've got Axl singing karaoke. Do you know what I mean? You'd be fuming with it, bro.
There was a famous case, I can't remember if it was 07 or 08, but at Download Festival when Avenged Sevenfold headlined, and they were like at the height of their fame then, and they'd always played the two guitarists, bass, drummer, and singer. That was it. And they came on, and all of a sudden the drummer was playing to a click, and they had all these live samples, and they sounded fucking phenomenal, literally like the record. But afterwards, all the reviewers were basically saying what you were saying.
Yeah.
Like, this is not real rock. Rock music.
I want to see the mistakes.
Yeah,
that's a real band will do. They'll interact with the crowd. Oh shit, I messed that chord up, didn't I? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like,
absolutely.
You can't. Live for me is I prefer live to anything.
Absolutely.
You're never good. Honestly, live to me is all.
When something sells, though, the companies.
Obviously, I know you've got to get your sales up.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you're going to go out and give people a live tour, then you should be fucking live on that stage, man. Not miming and jumping about and dancing and all that shit.
Yeah.
You should be doing your thing, innit? You know what I mean? Yo, Max, like, you're passing the Bel Air about and that. Prems is like, yo, here's a little story all about Prems. Yeah, man. No, I've got an Heineken Zero here, guys. Alcohol free. I don't drink alcohol. But listen, we're going to move on. We're going to go on to Prems, like I said. Premsy TV. His podcast is about football and stuff like that. Prems, I know you've already given him a little bit, but yeah, just drop a few bars for us, bro.
So basically, yeah, before this podcast started, I'm gonna just say it as it is. These two men here, yeah,
Wait,
wearing handbags.
Oh, why for that?
These two men
Why
here
for that?
wearing handbags. Why are they handbags?
Why for that?
This was a big point of
why
contention
for that?
outside.
Why
It was
for
a
that?
big point of contention
Why for
outside.
that?
Just
Yo,
because they
why
got
for
some
that?
brands
Why for
on.
that? He said
Yeah.
handbags, bro.
Wait, hold on.
They're handbags.
Wait,
yo,
If they were
yo.
red and they were from Longside
Why am I
Market,
carrying
they're
this?
handbags.
Nah,
I don't care
bro.
what anyone says.
He's gonna tell
You know
me-
what I'm going to
Yo,
handbags.
you know where I'm going with this, don't
You know
you?
who I am on what side?
They're gonna say, "Oh, my hair." This.
You know
that,
where
that.
I'm going
And
with
you
this,
know
don't
what? You know what? Mum
Hey,
said
I'm gonna young spray his
straight
podcast in a minute.
No, wait.
I'm gonna go mad. Don't get me mad, fam. I'm gonna go mad. I'm gonna go mad. I'm gonna young spray the podcast.
What are you gonna do? Fight with your handbags, lads? Is that what you're gonna do?
Yo, why
Go
for
for
that?
the handbags.
Yo, like, look at his hair, everybody.
He's a man, man.
Look at it.
He's run up that
You can't
bro.
say it.
Fire
Yo,
for
we're in
that.
the hood here, you know.
Yo, we're in the hood. We're in the hood, and guys walking around with a perm,
Yeah,
fam.
see this? You know Samson and
Them man, they
Delilah,
come in
this
here
is
with
what
a
I'm
man
on.
bun.
Samson,
A
you
man
get me?
bun
Man
talking
can't grow
about
his thing.
handbags.
And
That's
his
not even a
thing's
man
right.
bun. That's a
why
girl
they got
pony,
hats
bro.
on.
Oh, yeah, it's a ponytail.
That's a
That's
ponytail,
why
bro.
they
A
got
ponytail,
hats on, you
slick
get
back
me?
in that.
Man's got
Andy,
white hair looking
somebody
like
was slick
Patrick
back.
Truman from
Can you just get
EastEnders,
closer
yeah.
to Prem's girl's
Man, look
ponytail?
at Phil
He's slick
Mitchell.
back.
You get me? We got Phil and Patrick on the show. That's why they got the hats
Listen,
on.
I'm bald, I can say it, but check this out, yeah? I get a little bit of banana juice, I told you, I rub it here, and it keeps it fresh.
Turn up that. Turn up that. Yo, fire.
Why for that?
That was-
Yo, no, it's all right, that's all right, it's all right. Well, listen, anyway, this is Prem's and why for the man, why for the handbags,
You'll
man?
cry people.
Yeah, that's
You
it,
gotta
man.
laugh, you
But
gotta
check
laugh.
this. So we've introduced everybody, and what the podcast is about today. Man's going to talk about some fucking real shit in it.
Yeah, man.
Excuse me to the viewers for burping down the mic. But man's going to talk about some real shit. Well, I have to excuse myself,
Yeah, you're
bro,
real.
because it was naughty,
This
man.
is the real shit right
Yeah.
here.
This is how a podcast should be.
I'm motherfucking
Uncensored. Say what you want,
Bro.
freedom of
No
speech.
Chris Brown here.
So we are going to talk about today, and this is where we want you people to get involved. We really do, because we are going to be speaking about like real life situations, and we believe in what we believe. You believe in what you believe, but we want you to like,
get in the
comment,
comments.
and share.
Please.
Get in the comments anything you want to talk about.
Subscribe.
Yeah,
man.
follow, subscribe, everything to Breaking Bread, Cold Up North podcast. But we're going to be talking about aliens today. We're going to be talking about ghosts, apparitions. Have you seen any? Do you believe in them?
Even Duppy alien.
Yeah, duppy aliens, batty aliens, everything like that, man.
Turn up that.
Any kind of alien.
Fire.
We want to
Hey,
hear about it.
No, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you for why. So a question was, we're speaking about an alien, yeah? So when alien come down and kidnap you and put you in the beam of light and take you up, Scott, and then people coming back down saying, yo, I was up there and these aliens was putting, cutting their arms and putting trackers in them and that, and putting fingers in booty holes, man. What's all that about? That tells me them gay aliens are homosexual or gay or doctors doing prostate exams. It's
way.
one or the other.
Big
So
way.
I just thought I'd get it out there.
Big way.
But on a real, we are going to be talking about aliens. We're going to be talking about, do they exist? Do they not exist? We're going to be talking about ghosts. So apparitions, energies, that kind of stuff. So if you believe or you don't believe, you've got any comments, put them in, and we will reply to you. And we'll talk about this on when we start season 1 of the pre-record. We will do this podcast again, and we will answer all your questions. But yeah, guys, we'll start with Joe. Joe, we'll start with the aliens. Do you believe in aliens?
Oh, I think it's such a complicated question, really, isn't it? Like I think that personally, it would be a bit naive to think that we were here alone. But I also I look at different conspiracy theories, right, that are sort of allowed to kind of break through into the mainstream media and the ones that aren't. And I look at aliens and I just go, could it be that they want us to focus on aliens so we just think that we're a small speck here?
No, there's that aspect though, but there's that.
Because that's like kind of going to the flat earth.
Yeah,
thing as
because
well, innit?
do you know what? There's a lot of people that say that kind of aspect, but you know what? There's so much history
Yeah.
and so much like things.
Do you know what?
And credible people as
Yeah,
well.
for
Credible
example.
Listen, the
sightings.
Egyptians was
incredible.
writing it on the walls,
Do you know
man,
what?
2,000 years ago.
not
It's
even
like,
that. 1985, yeah, Bob Lazar come out and
Bro, I watched this thing. I watched this thing. I watched this
He
thing.
basically said, yeah, obviously alien space crafts have crashed and that they've got about 7 or 9 of them. This is where Area 51 kind of got built.
Yeah, because
Wait, I'm
Wait,
gonna say something. Do you know what? Do you know why I didn't re-listen to him? You know why I didn't listen to him and take him in? His name sounds too much like Balthazar to me. It's that you get me, Balthazar. It sounds just sounds like he's working for
people
them,
don't understand that crash. So you know the first crash they said happened in the 1940s, whatever it was, in Roswell. It was the guy. I watched the guy and he's saying it was actually there was a thunderstorm and 2 alien spaceships crashed to each other. It wasn't in Roswell. It was 40 miles outside Roswell.
Yeah.
And then one ended up. They didn't find that till over 10 years later. The other the identical spaceships that crashed.
Check it with Bob Lazar though. Yeah, with him. Why? I do believe in aliens, and I think if everyone just thinks we're the only people knocking around in this
naive man.
Nuts, yeah. But with Bob Lazar, he was talking about an element 115, yeah, and that element he was saying that it fuels the spacecrafts, etc. That element did not exist on this planet, and then in 2013 they put it on the periodic table. Get me? They put the element 115 on there. So where's that element come from? You get me? They said they created that element themselves, but they haven't. It's come from somewhere. Roswell as well. They got materials from the aircraft. Yeah, them same materials. Now they've just invented a new metal now. That is like, it's so strong, so bendy and everything now that you can put on aircrafts and everything that they're going to start using. Where's that coming from?
They're using that in Africa and like they got...
this is what I'm saying.
They just open a plant in Africa. They got fighter jets. They got everything. And bro, this metal they're using is crazy. It can bend. They can use it for war. They can use it for one plane. Used for everything. You get me? They can use it for every purpose. You understand?
Absolutely. It is. I think it's important to say as well, when you bring up Bob Lazar, this wasn't just somebody who had an alien sighting or claimed to be abducted. This was an RAF pilot. He was given the top clearance by the US government as well. So this
the guy even made his own supercar.
This is it. So it's not this is a highly educated guy who hasn't got a history of telling lies or anything like that. And he, as you say, claims in Area 51 that they already have spaceships down there that they're
well, he said the two. Well, it wasn't Bob; it was the other guy. What I was saying, because he said what flew the spaceships. It was all done by hand, and he said it looked like a piece of perspex glass, like plastic, and that was actually the energy thing. And they didn't find out till 20 years later that was the energy source for the spaceship.
You hear these pilots of this day and age talking, they're saying it looks more like a tic tac kind of shape. You get me? And they can't really see the trajectory of which way it's going and stuff like that. You know.
Well, that guy said he's seen the aliens. He said most of the bodies on the ship that had crashed was like fucked, like beyond recognition. He said, but they had one that survived, and it survived for like so many years after the crash, and that's what was teaching them everything.
That said they seen the alien and it stunk to death. Was it I think it was it might have been the driver or somebody who drove one of the aliens or something.
But there's different types. As far as I know, there's different types. You got like the reptilians, you got the greys, you got the what I forgot what they're called, beginning with an A.
Unaki.
This guy was saying it was 4 foot.
Talks about that a lot.
He was saying that these ones was 4 foot. He's seen some at 4 foot. And they didn't take them to Roswell. They took them to other places. Do you know? Not Roswell, Area 51. They had them in other places. He said some of them looked like humans, but they had 2 sets of hands. Do you know what I mean? And he said some of them was only 4 foot high.
Imagine getting a slap off
on that scientist, he said that he was talking to the president, and they brought him down to like Middle Earth, and he saw one of the aliens, and he was like 7 foot and just dark and skinny on the 7 foot towering over him.
If you were playing...
That was a shadow of a tree.
The president took him down there.
And could I ask you one question, Joe?
Of course.
The president took him down
so
there.
what? This is what I want to know, right? So with all the alien stuff that goes on, it's always Americans. Why do the aliens always go to Mexico or America? Why did they not fly over? I mean, it's very rare we hear the UK cases. It's always America or New Mexico.
Absolutely. 82% of cases. I was actually looking at the statistics before I came on today, and 82% is made up by Western countries.
That's what I'm saying. So why don't they come over? Why do we never see some come flying up Manchester? Do you know what I mean?
No, as well. But seeing like a lot of the third world countries and that as well, a lot of them, and especially villages, they're not as educated. So even if they did see something, they just think it's an aeroplane anyway.
I suppose. But then playing devil's advocate,
they ain't going to be reporting that. They got more things to worry about. You get me? Then
if
The
you're
people
going
what's
by
flying
that
in the
kind of
sky.
thought train, though, like you could also play devil's advocate, and it's going back to what Mac was talking about earlier, saying about the different technologies they have. Could it be a case of the fact that the government, whoever you want to say, the people behind the government have this technology, they just don't want to give it to us, and so maybe they put out stuff
You want
like,
to say the
oh, it's
Matrix, didn't you?
aliens, or
You want to say
blah
the
blah.
Matrix.
No, I'm just trying to play devil's
Uncensored it.
advocate.
Say what
because
you want.
obviously,
it's-
people have a
no,
lot of different
no,
beliefs,
it's right,
don't
because
they, as well?
you have to take it into consideration. Like Joe was saying before, so I have a theory. It's only one theory. I don't know whether I'm going to go with it and say, yeah, that's what I believe. But apparently this planet we were speaking to a minister before, weren't we?
Yeah, today.
He's saying, how can you not believe in something else? He said, the world is too perfect.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's too perfect. The way it's built, it's formatted and stuff like that. He said, now, that was a good point he brought up. But one of the things I say is, like, are we not the aliens? Because apparently before we was here, the human, we still had insects and bugs and dinosaurs and all that. So have we not come down or whatever, and we took over the planet? We're the fucking aliens, you know what I mean?
I think that's the basis of Scientology, isn't
know?
it? From my understanding, that an alien came to this planet and recreated with some mammal and basically created humans.
Like a Neanderthal.
Yeah,
I
but I've heard that one. But I've also heard that the devil, when he was cast out of heaven and they sent him, he come down here and he tried to create humans, but humans it didn't work out for him. You know what I mean? And it ended up being like us.
Obviously, there's a guy called Graham Hancock, and he talks about lost civilizations and stuff like that, and ancient civilizations. So like before, like we even knew. So like he says, like see, like the Sphinx and stuff like that in Egypt, that was there before even the Egyptians' time and stuff. But obviously, archaeologists, they obviously try to debunk his theories and stuff like that, because then it just makes all their work.
Yeah, because they need the funding,
innit?
innit?
Really. However, there's a lot of valid points that he does make in it as well. There's a lot of places like, is it Göbekli Tepe, and like places in India and stuff that have, like there's stones there that are dated like 40,000-50,000 years ago. Do you know what I mean? And there are people that have made them, like it's handcrafted and stuff. So, and they had technologies back then. What says that they didn't manage to get off Earth before they were had a lot more technology than what we do now?
Yeah, because it's
got off Earth and then come back and started the human race.
Well,
me and I saying about the pyramids, isn't it? So
the pyramids. I mean, every official pyramid we have that's classed as a pyramid, they all have coordinates pointing in the same direction.
Yeah.
That's where the alien conspiracy. Yeah, well, that's where the aliens built the conspiracy.
But the thing is, you got to go back. Let's go back to Egyptian times when they built the pyramids. Because apparently they didn't build them for tombs; it was built for something else, wasn't there? I can't quite remember what it was.
Because most of like the pharaohs stuff didn't actually get buried there; they got buried.
I've seen some of this Graham Hancock
Who
stuff.
gave them the technology to understand the cosmos and that?
This is what I'm saying.
Who gave us that technology?
Do you know what shape a pyramid is?
No.
It's in a diamond.
It's in a diamond, so it's built into the floor as well.
Basically, it looks like a PG.
Yeah.
It's like, because people think it's a triangle, don't they? But the foundation actually goes into the floor like that. Do you know what I mean? So that, all them years ago, it's like, to get it perfect like that, it's like, there was no tape measurers.
But it's not even
there was no lasers,
How's humans getting 20-ton?
Well, it shows in the pyramids. It shows in the pyramids that the aliens just packing the fucking bricks for them. That's one theory that I've heard.
That ancient civilization as well, they talk about how the bricks are actually cut for the pyramids, and we couldn't even replicate that today with the tools that we have. Well,
there's a place in India, I think it's a Hindu temple. I can't actually remember the name of it, bang on, to be honest with you. But it's carved from a mountain, like a rock downwards.
Right.
And it's so intricate, and it's meant to be like the hardest granite or something like in the world that is being carved out of. And this was like dated back to like thousands of years ago. And it's how can you do something like that? How can you create a building carving it from up, down, into the mountain?
Absolutely.
It's mad.
So what I'm saying then is me personally, I'll start and say, I do believe there's something else out there. I do not believe we are in trillions of light years and miles away. We are the only planet with something on it. Do you know what I mean? It's like listen. If you're clued up, we know man never landed on the moon. That's a load of bollocks. What a fucking that budget. That budget
hold on.
was bigger than a Hollywood blockbuster as well.
Hold on, that's the same as them gal there going to the moon the other day.
Yeah, man. Why for that, man?
My favourite meme of all
Yeah.
of that was the Katy Perry kissing the ground.
yeah.
Then the picture of the other two, just
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, like he said, what the fuck was that in it? You know what I mean? We're not interested. But what I'm saying is, I do think there's definitely something else out there, whether it be an alien, whether it be another human race, whether it be insects, bugs, dinosaurs. I don't know. Me personally, I'm not an expert on this shit, but I do believe there is something else. Like there's a passage in the Bible. Our kid keeps telling it. He keeps going, listen, think about it, right? So God said to Moses, yo, come and meet me on the hill. Don't bring any animals and no people within a few miles radius, and I'll show you. He got in his chariot, what he called his chariot, he called it a chariot. And this is in the Bible list, and he went straight up, flew up. They're saying that was the space rocket, you know what I mean? It was, They called it a chariot. The reason you couldn't have like loads of people around is because you know when the space rocket takes off, you have to be so many miles away because of the thrust and the backlash. So that's what they reckon, you know, that, and that's in the Bible, that, bro. That's in the Bible.
You know what? Billy Carlson as well. Do you know Billy Carlson? He talks about, like, you know what I'm talking about, innit? He even actually says that there's theories that he believes that Jesus was an alien. I don't know if you see.
I've heard that as well. Story.
No, he actually says it. If you go on Billy Carlson's thing,
I've heard it though.
I don't believe it, to be honest with you, because I think it's a bit mad that, but like. I do believe that.
But the thing is, there's a method to his way of thinking as well, innit? Like we always say, he's mad. Oh, they're mad. Yeah. People will be on here now going, these guys are off the fucking heads. But we've got our own opinion, yeah. And if you know, listen, if I was to say to you, there's only, what did he say? There's 60 million people in the UK. 60 something million. Do you think there's only 60 million people in the UK? Come on, bro.
There's about 30
we get 100 illegals, 100,000 illegals every week. So come on, why for that? Yeah. So that's just like trying to, you know, put a number on something. You're never going to put that number on how many people are in the UK. The registered people, yeah. So why not take the facts on that there is another species out there? I believe there's something out there.
Definitely.
I don't believe we come from monkeys and all this shit and we start walking like Neanderthals and all that. I don't believe any of that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they said, isn't it? Yeah. I think that's a lot of bollocks because, you know, they go, because I come from a monkey, trust me. Nah, but I don't believe that, and I don't believe that we was bacteria that come out the water, the sea, and then we bred with whatever and blah, blah. I believe, you know what I mean, is just the obvious story is Adam and Eve. So they say Adam and Eve, you know what I mean, brother and sister, but yo, we're not all, because God says we're all brothers and sisters, that's kind of fucked up. Because, you know, them two are bumping uglies and now we're all sat here like, so if they was, let's say they was, because I'm not going to go on about race, but let's say they was white, both of them. Because we don't know whether they was white, black. Nobody knows what colour they was, you know what I mean? Nobody could prove that unless she was there. So where does the black and the Asian, the Chinese, and, you know, all that, so it's like the Adam and Eve story. So that kind of, for me, that kind of, I'd like to believe it was Adam and Eve, but not in an incestual way, because I think, why for that? But then you've got, we come from monkeys, we come out to sea as a bacteria, the Big Bang and that, and it started, and then blah, blah, blah. So there's all them theories you can go on, and every scientist, and what they called, the scientists and the ones who... Archaeologists and the people who try to debunk it or prove it, they'll all have their own, we come from this, no, we didn't, we come from that. And this is people with PhDs after PhDs, studying at Harvard and this and that, been all over the world, digging tombs up, you know, they'll come out with their own thing. So it's like, what do you believe?
That's it.
Do you know what I mean? What do you believe?
I agree with you totally. I think there is a certain humbleness in being able to say, actually, I don't know, because truthfully, I don't really think anyone really knows. I mean, everyone. I learned that 10 years working victim support with child abuse victims. I mean, like they sometimes they come to you with the most outrageous stories, and then, you know, I worked on a case with a young girl. Obviously, I can't say her name or anything, but her stepdad would take her and would abuse her, but him and his friends would
Why
dress
for
up.
that? Dead him off, man. Dead him off.
They would all dress up as aliens.
that.
So she,
Why
for
for
years
that?
and years and years, was going around telling people that she had been abducted and abused by aliens. And it is a bit of an unusual case, but it goes to show really how people's psyche can be affected by the things. I mean, we're all products of nature and nurture, aren't we? Of everything around us, and people that we meet. And so I'm with you. I think there is a certain humbleness in just being able to say I can talk to people from different backgrounds, different colours, different religions,
and turned my belly on.
no, I'm sorry, but it's just,
you made your point, man. But dead that guy off, man.
Yo.
Dead him off, man. But what I'm saying is, like, all right, so what? Let me ask you this, Matt. Do you believe in aliens or another species, whatever it may be, whether we're going to use the word alien or something else on another planet somewhere or whatever, or on this planet? Do you believe in it?
How long you know me?
No, I'm asking you for the viewers.
I'm an alien. That's why.
That's what I'm saying.
How
That's
long
what
you know me?
I'm
You're peeing in. That's
I'm an alien, fam. Me and my dogs
right.
are aliens.
So
real aliens.
I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement. I personally believe there's something
Yeah, definitely.
other than mankind. Are you the same?
Definitely.
What about yourself, Joe?
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I said, I think it's naive to think that we're everything okay. That we're here alone. And I like hearing from different people and different people's opinions on it. I think I said to Mac a couple of weeks ago, actually, like sometimes I feel like I'm an alien as well, because do you ever have those moments where you just think like everybody in the world just doesn't think the same as you, and you're like,
nothing ain't normal about me, so I know I'm a fucking alien.
You watch people doing things and going through trends, and you just go like, how are these people the same as what I am? So I fully believe anything is possible.
I definitely believe. I definitely believe in aliens.
We're back to handbags.
Not normal. The sleep back thing.
Let me tell you, right. I just want to say, while we're back on handbags, and we were outside, and these guys.
Go on, sorry, Joe.
No, you're fine. I was going to say we were outside, and I'm a little bit offended, to be honest with you, because we were outside and they were sort of comparing their man bags. Everybody trying to look manly with their man bags. No one asked me if I'd look manly with a man bag. I think that would create the opposite effect.
Right, listen. When we finish the show, we'll put a man bag on you and we'll take a picture, put up on the Instagram. And please, for those watching, tell us if it suits the man bag.
Wait, listen in. You see why he don't want a man bag? Because if he wears it, he's definitely looking like a
woman with the
it's
hair.
a woman thing with the hair. Man bag. You might as well throw some heels with it.
All I know is these are two grown 50-year-old men.
50-year-old
handbags.
Why for that?
Listen,
50-year-old man.
Putting these magazines to me. You get me shooting down.
Born off that.
I think it's time to go now.
Born off that.
Thanks for having me.
Yo, do I look fucking 50 years of age? You lot.
You're looking 60.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Come on, man.
Check that out.
Yo, allow it, fam. Allow it.
Hey, ladies, comment.
Allow it.
That's why we were
right.
Allow it.
Why for the age of me, you know?
We're not.
We needed you
here.
We needed you here to bring the average age down.
You just go to the hairdressers and get your hair looked after. You know what I mean? We'll go to the barber and get a trim.
Yo, you my guy. See that? This is what it's called, 25.
The non-man bag people, we look after each other.
We're going to call you... We're going to call you Primo.
Young bucks are trying to pull it on us, you know?
We're doing a song together called No Bags.
They're trying to pull it on, man, you know?
Yeah. It doesn't... Oh, my God. Why for that?
See if the aliens are red. The aliens are red, they'll be laughing.
They wouldn't, because they'd be putting the fingers in your bum, bro.
The aliens would have been saying,
because they're gay.
You with your handbag, lad.
Yeah, they'd be like...
If you could meet an alien...
Be the first targets,
Hold on, go on, Joe. Let's get out.
I was going to say, if you could meet an alien, what is the first thing... If you could only have, like, one question, what would you ask him if he didn't have his finger in your bum, man?
I'd just say... Well, the first thing I'd say is, listen, bro... Me and you are going to get into some kind of physical activities. If you try, if I see your finger like this, we're fighting. We're fighting. But secondly, what I would say is, how far advanced are you in medicine, and can you help us cure cancer?
Yeah.
And let's cure these babies, man. Let's cure these mums and dads dying of this shitty fucking disease, man. That'd be my first thing. I'd say, listen, I would give my life for that, and that is straight up. That is me. I would, as hard as it would be for me to leave my kids, if they said to me, listen, you stay with us, and we'll put the cure on it. We'll give him the cure for cancer. I'll be like, listen, the shit that I've gone through, bro, with that bro, I'll be like, listen, put the cure down there. I'm with you, bro. But you're not putting your fingers in it.
I'm coming with you.
The cure anyway, the government and that together.
Come on,
it's all money,
they're
bro.
gonna give it you, man.
It's all money.
Yeah,
it's all money.
They're not gonna. They're never gonna tell it. Listen, I don't want to get into it because you know what, man. I swear to God, man, just nasty people, some of them. But right, so we all agree on the alien thing. Andy, do you believe in aliens, mate?
You're sitting next to one. What are you talking about?
Statistically, probably, but I don't think we've made contact with them.
So what Andy is saying is, man, what he's saying is, statistically, he believes in them, but he doesn't think we've made contact. So that's our DP who has just answered that. Right, so let's move on, guys. So we're going to move on to ghosts. Right, Joe, we're going to start with you again, man. What is your take on ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts? Have you ever seen a ghost?
Absolutely, I 100% believe in ghosts.
My dog.
I do. I don't necessarily know whether contacting them through the spirits of mediumship and things like that are a particularly good idea, because I don't. I've seen some of those.
Do you know why?
Some people go crazy over that. Sorry, go.
Yeah, no, go on, Karen.
I was gonna say I've seen some people go crazy over that, and I don't know whether I strongly believe that we should be making contact with them necessarily in terms of asking them things.
I'm with you with that, because you know what it is here. You're opening certain portholes and gates, innit? You never know what you're letting in.
Absolutely.
You understand? Once you open that door, you don't even know if you closed it properly. Do you understand? So you don't never know what's following you through that door.
Absolutely. And if you've seen it as well, if you've seen people who have psychic attacks as well after they've visited, a medium or something, and they've spoken with these people, for me, it's just something. I do believe in it, but I just think it should be left alone if you don't know what you're doing.
Have you ever seen a ghost or thought you'd seen a ghost? Have you had an encounter, an experience?
Yeah. So in 2014, I was at quite a low point in my life. I was back in Ayia Napa DJing, and I just split up from a relationship with a girl that I thought was my forever girl, but an ex-girlfriend's mother passed away within that time period, and I was really low. I was taking a lot of painkillers at the time as well. And
what painkillers was you taking?
Tramadol.
Oh no. Was you on the Zappane?
Yeah, it's just like
loud and Tramadol.
I did that typical thing where you think when you're giving up hard drugs that you go onto alcohol pills.
Pain relief and alcohol is worse than getting off drugs, bro.
Yeah, and her mother, I believe, visited me that night and asked me just to check in on her and make sure that she was okay. And I knew within that time period that she had either passed away or she was very close to passing away. And I found out the next day that she passed away overnight. So to me, it is a memory that I hold dear. But like I said, because of maybe other personal beliefs that I hold, everybody's got their own beliefs, but I wouldn't go out my way to be contacting ghosts. But yeah, I do believe
I come from a family, obviously, that they believe a lot. I mean, on both sides of the family, it's Irish, Scottish. So it's like my mum, she had friends who was mediums and that. My mum was a card reader, so she'd read your cards. Because she used to say to me, I used to call her septic peg taking a piss, you know what I mean? She'd be like, I'll read your cards, son. I'd be like, Mum, you know everything fucking about me, you know what I mean? What do you want to read? Okay, well, I read your cards. The cards don't lie, you know what I mean? And when she used to read my cards, I used to think, fucking hell, here we go again, Mum. And sometimes I go, whoa.
Yeah, do you know that?
Like just only the odd time I'd be like, yeah, that did, okay, that, you know what I mean? But like when it comes to like mediums and stuff, I'm not bothered about all that. I love ghost hunting. I go on them ghost hunts and that, and I go clicking cameras and all that, in big old fucking mental asylum. I love all that. I love it. Honestly, I'll tell you, I love all my. I don't watch horror as in gore, like all that fucking cutting each other up, because that just happens in the estate. You know what I mean? I watch supernatural stuff. There's a film called The Entity. The actual the actual story is pretty fucked up. No, the actual story is pretty fucked up. But watch it, bro. Yeah, just watch it. It's a good film. The effects back in the 80s, how depressing on the woman's skin, and that it's sick and it is fucked up. Because people say The Exorcist The Entity was probably the worst, the scariest one I've seen. But so I like a lot of horrors, and I do believe in ghosts. I mean, I've had a few encounters myself, and one is I can get my brother and my sister to verify it. So one night I'm asleep and I hear like a humming noise, and we lived in Gifford Avenue. This is straight up, man, Blakely, Damhead. And my nana always used to say, we need to move out this house. There's an omen telling us to move out the house. And two things happened to me in there. So the first thing, I'll tell you the first thing, because then you'll know. So the first thing is, I told you this before, and I come home from school. My mum used to leave the key. She'd either leave the back door open, she'd at work on it. Anyway, boom, I've gone up the stairs. You had to take your shoes off in our house. Gone up the stairs. My mate's knocking the door. You're coming out. I'm like, yeah, where's my trainers? It was at the bottom of the stairs. So imagine that's your steps, yeah? There's your stairs. My trainers was like that on one of the steps. I thought, get the fuck, bro. Yo, I was scared of putting my trainers on because I thought he was haunted. Straight up, bro. On my mother's soul. The second time, I remember we had a sleepover, so my mate Dougie was staying over, so him and Bone was sharing one bed, my little brother, and I was in my bed because them days, you know what I mean? 3 bed, yeah, that's how it was. So the bedroom went like this. The door's here. Our kid's bed's there, the light switch is here, our kid's bed's there next to the door, and my bed's like that, and the window's here. I hear this humming sound. Bro, I woke up and I seen a little girl about that big, like just all in white, like some old Victorian nightgown or whatever it was. Bro, man jumped out of his bed with a quilt on my head, smashing our kid, and my mate like, wake up! And we put the quilt on our head to turn the light on. Nothing. I wouldn't sleep in my bedroom. My aunties will tell you, my mum.
That shit happened to me as well.
Bro, I slept on the couch, man. I was scared to go to bed. Now, the doctor said to me, mum, because I'm like, yo, because she's like, he won't get in bed. He won't go in his bedroom. The doctor went, well, you was going to sleep. You probably thought, you see, I said, I was fucking, I'd been asleep for hours. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm only a kid, but I know what I seen. And I wouldn't tell people. I was embarrassed to tell my mates because they'd be like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, take the piss. But I know what I seen, and to this day, I believe it.
You see what
I fucking believe it, bro. I believe what I seen, bro.
Fam? It happened when I was a kid as well, innit? Me and my brethren. But I didn't believe it until we got older. We was living together and we started just talking. You know, man, just relaxing and reasoning, innit? Boom. Talking, and he just like, do you remember the day we saw the ghost when we was youth? I was like, what the fuck? You saw it as well, fam? He was like, yeah, blood, don't you remember? I was like, no fucking way. For real, like, you get me? Mad thing.
All these years.
All the years, I didn't realise until I got older.
You know what? My nana's house was haunted as well. Like, proper haunted and that. Yeah, like, when we were kids and that, the maddest shit used to go on in there all the time. You're banging. And obviously had a semi-detached house. Next door, it was just one lady that lived there. She's obviously ain't going to be getting about up and down and that. And it was a big gaff. And even, like, my mum's from got 12 brothers and sisters. They're from a big family as well. And even back in their day, said, some mad shit used to go on in the gaff, but witnessing it myself as a kid, like, bro, sometimes you could just be sitting in the living room, you could just hear something like running up the stairs, like, bah, 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 bah. And
there's
nothing there. You get me? Everyone's just running up, right? What the fuck's going on here? Or one time that I've seen with my own eyes. Remember the big box TVs back in the day, innit?
Yeah, man.
So obviously when the Sky remote, the old fat Sky remote, it was on the TV one time. My auntie was cleaning up and all that. Now, yeah. And obviously the night previous, like my mum's was at my nana's. It's like a big house that everyone used to go to. Press the light bulb and the fucking light bulb shattered and that, yeah. But like when the light bulb goes, it doesn't blow in it. It just, the bulb goes in it. But this bulb actually shattered. Didn't think anything of it and that. And then obviously we're all sitting down eating breakfast. My auntie's cleaning up and that, bro. The Sky remote just come flying off the TV. There's no window open, nothing. It's mad. But at that house,
it's mad.
No, Dappy's definitely real.
But I'm telling you, from my two experiences, what I said, the trainers and whatever. So my mum recently passed a few years back. So when she passed,
condolences.
It's cute. Yeah,
I
brought her back to my home, innit? So, and I had her in the living room all night with us, you know what I mean? Like, so we could, kind of like, break our bones, and you know what I mean? And because I knew my mum was into all the cards and all this, and I kept saying to her all night, Mum, if you can come back and visit me, please, just come, I won't be scared. You know what I mean? I kept saying it, and I was like, if there's anyone that's going to come back to tell me everything's okay, it's my mum, because she was my world. She was like, there's not one day, no matter where I was on this planet, that I did not speak to my mum. Do you know what I mean? She'd ring me 5 times a day just to say, what's happening? You heard anything? Do you know what I mean? And I sat there with her for hours saying, Mum, man, if you can find a way back, come back and tell me that everything's all right. I just want to know that you're okay, my granddad. You know what I mean? Blah blah. I just want to know if you can appear in my house, sit down on the couch, and I won't be scared. Just please come back. I've not seen or heard anything like that. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, so I'm not scared of it, and I'd love my mum to come back and tell me, look, son. This you go on that, you know what I mean. There's a nice place waiting for you, or I'm okay at least. You know what I mean. But yeah, I suppose a lot of people would want that, wouldn't they? Just some kind of, just see him one more time, or because you know what, until it happens to you, a lot of people, I hear them say, "Oh, I lost my mum or I lost my dad." I'd be like, "Oh, bummer."
I think the dead can connect to you though through in your dreams,
bro.
Of course.
Well, but it's not just through your dreams, man. You know the energy. I believe in the energy.
Yeah,
the energy is a strong force, man.
You, watching you.
When your body's full of energy, when you die, that energy has to go somewhere, bro. It don't just evaporate.
While you're here, you gotta protect your energy.
It don't evaporate like kettle water. Do you know what I mean? It's energy. It has to go somewhere.
When your mum was reading tarot cards, did anything ever happen that you just thought like, oh, did she ever say anything to you? And you just thought like, oh no, I don't understand what that's about. And then a couple of weeks later, it would happen.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So it's like, I mean, when you get your cards read and stuff like that, or you go and fucking read your palm or do tea leaves or whatever, or you go and see a medium, they go, hold on, he's here, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I've had a few where they've been pretty good, where I thought, fucking hell, they're like, because I cover all my tattoos up, put gloves on, everything. Go in there, no tattoos, no, just like, boom. And I'm like, just say what you got to say. You need to answer the question. Nah, I'm not answering now. Just crack on, and I'll tell you what's right and what's wrong in it. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like that. And a few of them have been like, but then again, I've seen the pattern of like, oh, you're gonna come into some money. No shit, Sherlock.
I've never been to one of them.
There's somebody gonna do. Oh, there's somebody. No shit, Sherlock. You know what I mean? You go in there, and a lot of them can like I could say to Premsy, Premsy look like you're 31. So you kind of guess it. No, I'm just.
You know 31?
Yeah, I know how old you are, bro.
I see no way to like Mystic Megan.
It's the length of your hair, man. I can tell you. I can tell by how long your ponytail is.
Tell him your own ponytail.
Why you didn't tell me how old you are?
Samson and Delilah shit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, what I say is, I see this pattern of like, you're gonna come into some money, you're gonna do this.
The usual, innit?
Is your nana and granddad in spirit?
Your nana and granddad.
Yeah, your nana or your granddad in spirit. They always, are a great uncle. It's always like, it's oh no shit. I'm 40 odd years of age, man. What do you want my granddad to live till he's 206? Yes, he's in spirit. You know he's in spirit. You're looking at my fucking age and you're kind of twigging it. Do you know what I mean? So I do see that side of it as well. Because my granddad, my granddad was cold with it. He's like, fucking charlatans, I tell you. Do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of charlatans out there, that will tell you what you want to read to make you feel better and get a few quid off you.
There's a big scam.
No, but a medium. It's a gift. They say a medium who can talk to the dead. A real medium, it is a gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift from the other side. A real medium will not charge you a penny to tell you what's wrong with you. You know why? Because it's a gift.
They have to tell
They're gifted that gift. And they're supposed to share that gift, you know what I mean? A real medium will not charge you no money to tell you anything about, you know what I mean? But like I say, years ago,
people are mad with it.
Traveling gypsies and stuff, mediums that say cross my palm with silver or gold, you know what I mean? That was a hustle. It is what it is.
Crazy.
Do you know what I mean? Do I believe in crystal balls and all that? No. Do I believe in ghosts? Yeah. Do I believe in what mediums say? I'm on the fence. I'm 50-50. Do you know what I mean?
Line though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm 50-50 because some of them have been so accurate.
She wake up in the middle of the night, fam, and she'll be like, right, fishes and that just came to me. That means someone's gonna have a baby. Next morning, you get a phone call and the family member's got a baby.
That's what.
Right, well, explain deja vu. Yeah. Explain deja vu.
You seen something once,
but you're like, I did this last week. I've done this before. Explain it. They say it's a form of your reincarnation. That this is one of the things that they say. It's like you've been here before. Like when mums go like that kid's been here before. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, well, a part of deja vu is supposed to be reincarnation. It's like you've already lived this life in a parallel universe.
Well, that's what they say. They also say.
So that's why you're seeing what happened. Do you know what I mean? But it happened in your last life, that deja vu.
Frequency vibrations, innit? Sometimes they say that you're like traveling in between vibrations, innit?
So that's why you get a deja vu.
Do you think we live in a parallel world then? So this deja vu, it's like right, we're doing this now, and then next week you're gonna see it again. That means
like a simulation kind
Hey,
of.
Mo,
yeah, it's like you feel
I
it. You
said it
feel
once.
it.
For the whole
You
show,
know
I said
what?
it once.
I think the government and the Matrix have
I said,
kind
I'm
of
not gonna
made
say it
it
this time.
into a civilization kind of thing where they've got control over
Why?
everything. As you just seen, like obviously whenever wars and etc. get started, obviously I don't want to go politically, is the guys at the top that can all just patting it off if they really want to. Do you know what I mean? They've got the whole world under
Yeah, but what I'm
control.
saying is that they're not going to control you.
But that doesn't mean we're in a simulation, as in we're in a big ball.
No,
You know
no,
what
no.
I mean?
I think that is the case. We are in a big ball, but that's just me. I think we're in like a snow globe. Do you know what I mean?
Shake the shit out.
Well, look, man. Every country in the world signed a treaty. They're so far into the Antarctic, you can't go.
You can't go.
There's a civilization beyond it. Do you know what I mean?
because if
Why are you
do
signing the treaty for no one to go there?
Do you know what? There was a
you know what I
guy.
mean?
There was a
Those
guy
around us,
that
get
talked
me?
about flat Earth, and basically there's maps of like maybe 500-600 years ago where there shows land beyond the Antarctica.
Eric
You
Dubai.
see that program?
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
do
innit?
indeed. Yeah,
So-
I followed Eric Dubai for a long
so-
time. I had him on my podcast. He's a really interesting
Yeah.
guy. He was sort of like before the flat Earth movement kind of became popular. Eric
Yeah.
was sort of one of those
Yeah.
guys who was like, "No, it's flat, and I'm not
Yeah.
taking it away."
Do you think the world's flat?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's my answer. I don't know,
do you-
but
Did you see the flight
From-
paths and stuff as well?
Yeah, I find a lot of that stuff really interesting just because I love a good conspiracy. I found it really interesting when Elon Musk, regardless of what anybody thinks of him now, kind of said that statistically it's most likely out of flat, round, or simulation that we're actually living in a simulation, because that kind of got me thinking. And I've been doing a bit of light reading in the evenings about Matrix and civilized, and that kind of stuff. But I just love it. I think it's the most interesting topic. But one thing I do know is that, and I've always said it, if you can't trust them on stuff like did we go to the moon, JFK, for some people 9/11. I'm not going to mention the most recent thing because I'll get you demonetized. But we won't say what this podcast goes down. But what happened in 2020? If they can lie to us about those things, what else can they lie to us about? And my dad is a big one for this because he ridicules me. He's like,
every time they open their mouth, they tell a lie.
This is it. He ridicules me. He's like, how can you not believe? Yeah. He's like, tell lies and visions. That's it. He says to me all the time, how can you look at this and think, blah, blah, or listen to that person? I just, I don't know. And I don't think that I know any more than you know, or you know. I think it's just, it's interesting to have these conversations. And I think when they start getting shut down, that's when I start having a problem with it.
But you know what? This world is mad. Because our speech, the language we talk, it's a curse, isn't it? Every time we talk, it's like a curse. You get me? So it's all that kind of everything to do with witchcraft, spirits, energy is all intertwined with our everyday life. You get me?
Absolutely.
You understand? You're over is what I mean.
My friend.
I get what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying.
Because when you hear like even when they say about weekdays,
yeah,
think about it. You're in the weekdays.
My friend Ant says
You
that.
understand?
He says
All
words
that
are spells.
Like,
He
you
says,
think about
yeah.
it's all cursing spells most of the time.
That's it. Words are
But you
But you
intention.
got to think
and-
back in the day, even in Britain, there was big, massive population of witchcraft and witches and
This
all
is
of that.
it.
It still is now worldwide.
No, I
man.
know,
It's
but
still,
I mean,
it's
like,
still a
it
big,
was
it's still a big
like,
cult, isn't it?
massive, like.
I mean,
You'd have to name
you've
them
got a
from
great
the-
point
all
there.
that
I mean,
stuff
if it
back in the
wasn't
day.
happening,
Well,
people
I
wouldn't
know- I
believe
know
it, would
about- I
they?
know
So
witches.
there are obviously people like us
See,
that had
know
these
a few
experiences.
there's that
You know
old,
a few too.
there's the old saying.
Dated a few witches.
There's an old, there's an old saying, and it says, "To every lie, there's an element of truth. A lie comes from an element of truth." So it's like,
of
look,
course.
do you know what I mean? It's like sometimes when they play, because the government they're designed to play with your head. That's what they do. They play with your fucking head. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that. It's like when you like so. You go see a psychiatrist and they say, don't drink anymore, don't do drugs anymore, don't do this anymore. What you need to do is just breathe and do this and do it. Oh, so you suffer with this? No. It's read from a book and it's a textbook. It's just everything is read from a script. It's not like they learn anything new. Do you know what I mean? It's all textbook. And the government, their head doctors design these books, boom, 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 and everyone follows that pattern. Do you know what I mean? How the fuck can somebody sit there who's not been through anything in their life and sit there and say to you, you know, everything's going to be all right. I'm trained in this. It's like, whoa. When was the last time you was hooked on drugs? When was the last time, you know, your kids was abused or you was abused or this, or you know what I mean? No, I've not done none of that. I just went to this college, and I'm not knocking them. I'm not knocking these guys because I know you do help people, but you know, I like the people. Like I know a lot of ex-druggies, and seriously, man, and they're now drug workers, and they've been drug workers for years.
Yeah.
Who better to tell somebody about getting off drugs than that drug worker?
Absolutely.
But the government, they're always cutting the funding on them. But they won't cut the funding on the ones that read from the textbook. Do you know what I mean? It's all about mind control, I'm telling you now, because the government...
Like schools, is like, look, in the last 100 years, 200 years, what has changed in the school system? Nothing. Exactly the same.
Indoctrination.
And the thing is, they want you to be, we are all modern day slaves.
You know, what's changed
They
in school?
want... Go on.
They got tablets now.
Yeah, well, apart from that, bro, they're still sitting in a classroom.
You're being bred to work. You're being bred to work in a box 9 to 5, aren't you? You know.
You get me? Right? I'm not being funny, yeah, but like even in this day and age now, yeah, see kids, yeah, if they don't have like pass their maths and that, well, they can't even go further on in college and all that. Well, you got fucking a calculator walking around it 24/7 now. Do you know what I mean?
I just think as well, you know, we're seeing massively in this country. We've actually got a huge growth in homeschooling and home education here in this country at the moment, and the kids are thriving as well. And it goes to show, like, if you don't always ram, like, you know, like there may have been, you know, different people have different strengths, and I'm a firm believer in that. You know, I've got a friend who, you know, he hated every job he just liked that he ever had. He used to sit at home, smoke weed. He found this one job and he's flying. He's been promoted after promoted. And I just say to him all the time, I say, sometimes it's just you're in the wrong place, you know. And I think that with school doesn't fit every kid. You know,
I totally believe that school is designed to just dumb your children down. Anyway.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what it's designed. No, this is what it's designed for. It's designed to make your parents free to go to work, so they can pay taxes, and then it's also designed for that kid to go through the system to put themselves into debt, so they've got you by the balls.
So basically, that's what it is. From the parent to the child's being dumbed down.
I mean, absolutely. Like, if you, I mean, talk to you two. I mean, I don't know much of your background, but like, if you,
I had no school education. I had up to 12. First year in secondary, I had no education after that.
If you had other options, maybe like music production or woodwork or just something that wasn't sitting at a desk learning, do you think that you guys might have gone a different path in your youth? Or
I went for music. I enrolled, so it was either he was offering me a custodial sentence because I kept breaching probation for a reason. I've already talked about this. I breached probation. They put me in the wrong probation. Not the wrong one, but I asked them not to put me in that one because we was warring with that side of this, you know.
Right.
You got Miles Platin, Monsell and Colliers. We used to fight as kids, innit? You know what I mean? So they put me in the wrong. Anyway, I got out of there. So the judge gave me an option. He went, go to this place in town called Merck. It's on Swan Street in Manchester, facing Band on the Wall. And it's a little college. And I went in there and he went, right, what do you want to do? I went, I don't want to do that. I said, nah. I just seen like just bare rockers, like fucking thick lipstick, you know, hair long as yours, prems, you know what I mean? Like with mad colours in it and that, drum kits, everything. They're just all in there making racket. And I mean, that's what it was, fucking racket. And I went, I want to go in there.
I want to make a racket.
And that's what I did. I went in there. So I chose then what I did is I enrolled myself into Wabram Moss. And I was at the cutting rooms and cut frees. I got my BTEC and MTEC. Do you know what I mean? Went back to court and the judge went, you know what? Boom, out the window. He said, you don't need to go back anywhere. All your restrictions lifted. Just do what you got to do. Blah blah blah.
With me,
do you know what I mean?
And then a year later,
my thing was just badness
as well.
My thing was just badness because even when they gave me like woodwork and I used to go attendance center, I used to go all these things and do like woodwork, and the only passion I had as a youth was cooking. I've always had that.
Nah, he can cook though. You know that, innit? You tried his food, innit? He bakes as well, man.
I do the whole shebang when it comes to cooking, innit?
We should do this, but with food.
Bro, the guy
Everybody bring a dish.
He's got an apron and everything, man.
But I can't take direction. I can't take.
You're not spanking him in the kitchen, are you?
So when I'm working in these places and they're telling me to do certain things, I want to fight. You get me? So
put it off.
I never make school and none of that shit, man. Trust
Nah, Bonnie, you know what he just said then?
The
So
guy
that-
said
he
he's
said that-
got an apron and everything. I said, what, are you not spanking him in the kitchen?
Yo, why?
Hey, you fellas are gay, you know.
I'm telling you, man.
And you know what? You know what the
Yo.
funny thing is, yeah? Look,
Why?
and you know what the funniest thing is, people?
Why?
Let me
X,
tell you
Y,
something.
and Z.
Let me tell you something. You know, see this guy here, yeah? It's good to see him
They
looking
get mad.
uncomfortable. That's all I like.
It's good. You know what it is? You know what it is? He said it before. I don't want to get demonetized.
I'm gonna be
I was gonna
one
say-
of
Or
those
otherwise,
bitches.
friends, you'd be rocking now in a ball like that. You'd be speaking in your native tongue like, bloody hell, help me out, come and get me.
Between you and the man bags and me and the demonetisation.
You'd have a man bag on like that, Charlie.
We ain't
Cutting
getting
your
invited back,
ponytail
are
off.
we? Me and you. We're not getting invited back,
No,
are we?
No, with that shit, I'm gonna be the first to
Nah,
be
do you know what it is?
podcast.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Why
bro?
for that?
I'll be honest with you, because obviously we've got a relationship with these guys.
Yeah,
This
is what we want on the
See, this
podcast.
guy
We want
here,
everyone
yeah.
to be
I don't have
happy.
This guy,
relationships with man.
this guy
Not
likes
like
to
that,
make-
not like that.
This guy likes to make
Friendship,
everyone-
that's
wait,
it.
wait, wait,
Yo,
You
you got
see
the
what that
big old
ponytail's
Dan
doing
He was
to
on there last week. He was trying to
Brother.
piss him about his filters.
Brother,
and
you
that,
see
you
what the
get me?
ponytail's doing to you? You're on there talking about you got
What
relationship
are
with
you
man.
talking about, yo?
What's he dealing with?
Why
Man
for
don't
that?
have relationship
Why,
with
one
man.
minute? Why are
Wait,
you wearing
wait.
an apron cooking in the next
Wait,
man's
wait. There's no
kitchen?
apron in his yard. Don't
Why,
listen to him.
why, yo?
Someone's doing AI on this shit, I'm telling
Are
you.
you trying to be
I'm top
Ainsley?
chef. No.
Blow it.
Nah, do you know what though? All
Have you
jokes.
seen those Trent and Jude Bellingham AI things where Jude's like, leave my Trenty alone? We should do one of these.
Yeah,
things.
nah. Listen, guys,
Two
man.
peas in a pod.
But let me tell you something, man. Is cooking is honestly cooking
What's
is
your best
fantastic.
dish? What's your best?
Everything he
dish you
cooks is
make?
nice.
No, you must have one. A chef always has his favourite dish that he makes.
Look at him just looking like, yeah.
Like, mine's like
there's
lamb
lots
curry
of
in it.
dishes.
No, do you know what it is? I don't have a favorite dish. My favorite dish is when you eat the food and I see that smile on your face. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, listen, you ain't on fucking no likey now, yo.
Brother,
What are you on, yo?
Yo,
I just want to bring world peace and happiness
He's
to
giving
your
us a
tongue.
gay shit with the ponytailing.
Wait, he's trying to do like I'm trying to.
Come on, bro.
Dickhead.
What's your dish?
Come on, bro.
Twice,
Run
not a
off
third
the
time.
ponytail,
They're having him
man.
back
Hey,
3 times.
ponytail.
This is what I'm
That's the
saying, you
only
see?
thing these
No,
man
you know
can
what I'm
say,
gonna
yo, you got a
For
ponytail.
the
I'm
show,
what, yo,
I'm gonna
man's
get a
got
sound
nice hair.
Sound
you get
effects
me?
thing.
See this
Now, when you
Indian
get
egg
that
that I'm
to
gonna
come on the
take
show.
something for?
Shit. Off that.
Burn off that. Dickhead. Monitor.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Ponytail.
Trust me.
Yeah, man, we're
Ponytail.
going in on you, man.
Burn off that.
Yo. Nah, but do you know what though, guys? Now it
man's
can't
had
go.
some
I'm
licks
trying to
today.
smack him, you know, what the
DC
hell?
has some licks today.
Listen, I need the I need this show to be
Wait,
monetized
no, you see-
properly, so
It's cool.
I'm
but-
just allowing that. I got you back with that one anyway,
No,
man.
remember, I used to have ADHD. I've done so much weed now, it's gone.
I
I'm drinking to
I
get that
still
shit
got
back.
it. I still got it.
So watch it.
Yo, I'll join you, Mac. I'll join you with a non-alcoholic.
Let's stay there.
You finished.
See you next week.
Man say you finished.
Nah, but I tell you what, yeah, here's another thing as well. We were talking about this morning. You know, like you wear Crocs.
I fucking love my Crocs.
Yeah, but do you think
Yeah,
it's
I like
right
that.
for a
I
man
love my
to be
Crocs.
dressing them up, man?
Yeah?
Putting all these little Pokemon
Nah,
things
nah,
in them
nah,
and
nah,
all
nah.
that.
No problem.
Why?
Nah, you have to say that for your wife. Do you know what I
Why?
mean? Like your wife and your
Why?
kids.
Say that for your
Like, you know,
Why?
Wait, hold on, because I've seen a couple of men, you know, and they got things all.
Yeah, pokes
So
through
stuff
the
on their
like
things,
little Pokemons and all that.
So
And
Joe, just tell them one thing.
Little stickers.
Please repeat after me. Why? Burn off that
Burn off.
fire.
Fire.
Trouble dead.
trouble dead there.
Yo,
Know what I mean?
let me just let you know, yeah, I'm gonna go and find 2 pairs of the Crocs and send them to these 2 man so they can wear them with their 2 handbags as well.
This guy's a dick, innit?
On fire.
Next time I come
Go
in,
on
I'm
fire.
wearing Crocs for these two.
He's turning me into this. He's turning it into the RTM podcast, man. I
I'm
want to get
turning it
angry.
into
No,
Prem's
listen,
TV,
I'm gonna drink,
boys.
I'm
What
gonna
you
wear out
talking
soon.
about?
Don't watch that. It's only
Now,
coming.
Prems is going to be co-hosting a few shows with us as well along the line.
Yeah, that's
Um,
why he's letting them get away with it. Right?
Yeah, that's the only reason we're letting him get away with it. But you know, when he's at home at the night,
These man don't want me in the ring.
this is how Premsy wakes up. Listen, when a man wakes up like this in the morning,
And after
that is not right.
Let me tell you.
Why for
How many
that?
times do you do that a day, though?
Do you know what? Do you know?
No, answer the question.
I'll tell you what. I'm
Answer
gonna
the
give you something
question.
good.
Wait, do you do this?
I'm gonna give you something
no,
good.
Do you do this? Do you do this? Do you do that?
Do you know what? Yeah, really and truly, I should because I'm a Sikh. You
Wait,
get me?
oh,
so
shit.
really and truly, I should do.
Right, can I
Wait,
ask
but
you a
you know,
personal
what
question?
about-
Hey,
Listen was then.
Can I ask you a personal question? No, can I ask him a personal question?
Only people I know that do that. And the time they only do that is girl when they...
Bro, the girl you're fucking me were wearing wigs, bro. What are you talking about, bro? Yeah.
Bro, let me ask you one question. Yo, fam.
I want to hear the personal
Let me ask you one question. Yo, allow it. Yo, Premza. It's personal. Is it okay? Can I fire a personal question away? It's not bad, but it's personal. All right, so in your home,
go on.
Who's pulling the hair in your bedroom, bro?
This is like
Who's pulling his hair?
Who's
pulling his hair, bro? Who's pulling his hair?
I just must say, this is a desperate shit.
We've turned from breaking bread into loose
aliens, man. It's not a joke.
But these men are asking me for the honey pack now. When these men are asking me for the honey pack.
The honey pack, he says, why for that?
Man don't need
If
no
you
honey
know,
pack.
Why
you
for
know.
that?
Don't need no honey
Thank you for
pack,
being a
cause
guest on No Likey, No Likey. I just want to say there is no wrong way to be a man. Okay, that's what the kids say nowadays, right?
Why?
Something like that.
You know what?
Why?
This is
But there's no wrong way to be a man.
Bro, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. But like I say,
Breaking bread, remember that.
Breaking bread, like,
bread.
comment, subscribe,
Tell a
leave us
friend.
your comments if you
Phone Mars.
believe in.
Talk to the aliens, let them know.
Get them to
Yeah,
subscribe.
yeah.
On the Breaking Bread podcast.
So let me ask you and Matt a question now, so me and Premza can drill yous a little bit. So obviously we know you've met. Did you meet over in Iron Apple?
No, we met through my cousin, actually.
My cousin.
Right. So was you over in
Trigger.
Iron Apple together?
Trigger was a part of So Solid.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
Trigger.
Not our Trigger, not Manchester
No.
Trigger,
Oh,
or
right.
different Trigger.
Trigger from Cyprus. He's part of So Solid crew. He owned the biggest jewelry shop in Iron Apple. If you know about jewels and you know about the game, when I bought everyone there, I was the first man in Iron Apple to get jewels. Furthermore, you got to ask Brown from K2. He tell you I bought him there. You get me? First man in Napa to get jewels from Napa. That's it. Plugging it. Yeah. First to do a
Plugged
lot
it.
of things. I'm like the UK soldier boy. But I've got real things going on, you get me?
I visit Malekis Jewelers if you're over in Cyprus.
Yeah.
You get me?
We will do for the right
Real things
piece.
going on, but listen in. Big up Trigger, big up Malekis. And that's where we met. Through Trigger, you get me?
So what I'm
Trigger's
saying,
my brother.
so what's your wildest night on in a club? What have you been DJing? They've been performing. What?
No, we actually haven't done a club night together, have we? And we should really. I mean, through I know obviously that you were out of the game for a little bit, like when I was sort of coming through. But I did. I worked on a track in 2011 with Mega. I've done a few other bits when the Goodfellas were around. I was doing work with them as well. So it was one of those weird things where we had
Big up Mega, big up all of them.
absolutely when we it's just a weird thing because I said to Mac when we first met, we've had so many mutual friends and like I've heard about him through so many people, and it's just it was good to finally meet him and make an acquaintance. But we've God, mad nights.
We locked in.
Do you know that I'm not joking about what I said at the top of the podcast? Like when you go to Iron Appa, everybody there. I mean, my first year. My first year actually DJ there was 2007. So and I was so young, and it was still in the roll on from moving more into grime than it was garage at that point. But the amount of respect that the old timers especially have for you guys over there, it's like I said, they don't call them the good old times, they call them the So Solid days.
Listen, Napa was our place. We had Napa.
Is that
on
talking about
shutdown.
Mac? Is that obviously because I've got onto this bougie scene and then with Mac and Mac. He's always Mac.
We're both Max.
Bag and bag. You get me?
Oh man.
But anyway, listen. Honestly,
Pony and
it
Pony.
gave me the opportunity to come on, but without even seeing Mac
Why
first
for that?
there, bro. Obviously, like
You
I'm
made sure,
31
man,
in
it's
it,
cool.
so I've grown up listening to So Solid and that, and it was just like even seeing him, bro. It was like I've seen loads of people in the football industry, you know what I mean, and you think, oh, but it was like Rast, yo, that's Mac, that yo. Do you know what I mean? Like it holds.
I've
up,
done
man.
I've done a remix of his track, and he went mad. Because I rewrote his lyrics. He said, "Why for
Don't
that?"
listen, why for that? Don't even come out with that. Okay?
He was actually listening to it for a
This
second as
motherfucker
well.
starts this shit.
Shotguns and a fugging in the club, baby oil. I'll be rubbing.
Even-
He's like,
Right after he cooks you
he's
dinner,
like, why for that?
He was talking about himself. That was his version.
That was my version, yeah. That's
Save
my
that for a
version,
next
man.
pod.
Pink stilettos and that.
Yo, I got them firing at each other now.
Bro,
You
bun
get me
that.
now?
Bun
Now it's all coming out.
Bun that.
We're starting
Yo,
a war
Black
here.
Mac's attacking White Mac.
These two gonna
This is what
me and
happened.
You doing the Breaking
Yo,
Bread podcast.
This is what he does, man. This is what he does. He's moved on to the side. You're in the ponytail gang now, bro.
No.
You know what I
Don't
mean?
try it, don't try it.
Talking about stilettos and all that.
Can't grow no ponytail.
Wait, listen.
I can grow
Why
one, bro,
for
but
that,
just
man?
from the
Don't want
back.
no ponytail.
What, a little Steven Seagal? Fuck off.
Do some
Blood, remember, I'm
taekwondo.
cool,
and
you
that.
know. I'm cool, you know.
What are
My
you
thing
trying to
is-
claim
my thing's
reason,
coolies,
yo?
fam,
What
so
are you
it's a mad
talking
thing.
about? They look like
Bro,
curls, tight girls.
Bro,
Fam, this is never tight.
I've been like this. I've been like
Yeah,
this from
yo,
being.
you
I've
get
been
that,
like this
my
from being
fam.
sweaty. Yeah, Matt comes in the other week, yeah, and he's like, "Yo," because we've been shooting bougie, so our characters shaved heads. That's the way it is. Boom, boom, boom. So he's like, "Yo, fam, man needs his head." I'll do the impression of him, like, "Yo, fam, I've seen him do fuck face."
Fuck face.
That's his favorite.
Yo.
So this is Matt. This is
Wait.
Matt. No, I'm not.
listen,
I'm
I'll
not
tell you
saying.
who can
I
tell.
think we need the
Anyone-
stug face
I'm never gonna say- I'm
example,
never
don't
gonna
No,
incriminate
so
myself.
this
Well,
is
give this face,
this is Matt. So
I'm
like
not
this
gonna
is this is Matt. So
incriminate
when we're on set, it's like I'll be like, "Yo, Clarky, you reckon these dickheads?" He'd be like,
Can you just give us like a little
Do
Joe
fuck face,
Henry,
Matt.
go from like there to like your gangster
I'm gonna
face?
show you,
just
I'm gonna
so-
show you.
Do
so we
fuck
can
face.
see it. I think
He
we
does
need to see
fuck
it,
face,
don't
man.
we?
Yeah.
There you go, there you go.
Yeah.
and he go, "Hey, yeah, see what I'm saying, for yeah, man like me, big man, right? Yeah." And that's what he does, yeah. That's my impression of Matt. Yeah?
Oh, it's just keep tapping you.
Yo, yeah, fam. Yo. So that's my impression of Matt. So he comes in the other week, he's like, "Yo, fam, man needs to grow his hair because you know it's looking thick right now." I'm like, "All right then." So he goes to the Rocket, who was on the show, and takes him to African barbers. Yo, this guy comes back, man. I swear to God, this guy I'd put patterns. This guy was singing "My Girl" in the mirror. My girl. He looked like one of them 60s dudes. I'm like, I said, "Yo, one of the drifters was waltzing, man. He's in the mirror like, I don't hate, man."
Hey, man,
I swear
hating
to God, you could have
Man was
stuck
hating
him.
on the
You could have
thing,
stuck
get
him
me?
on the wall. If he's that much grease on his head, you could have put him on the wall. He would have stayed like
My
that.
barber, he's a G, fam. The way them man they got
My
me coming out,
girl.
fam. It's
Did,
like,
I
listen,
not, did you
the
not
man
have
they-
waves last time
Wife
when I
for
seen
coming
you,
out.
man?
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro,
it's
waves.
But it's
Bro.
grown,
I
like-
think you what the fuck's
Bro,
It's grown,
there was
it's
men
grown, it's grown.
surfing on
He
his
got
head when he
mega
come in
hair,
like
though.
that, bro.
Gross
Bro,
fast.
don't say mega hair, man. Allow it. Allow it, guys.
All right,
That mega
there was
hair,
women,
like-
there was
No,
women
like
surfing on his
cool
waves,
hair.
man.
No, but for real, I ain't been doing the brush thing, innit? So I'm all wearing the
But he
do-rag.
come in and I swear to God, I looked at him because I'd never seen him with hair like that. I was like, "Rah, my man looked like a drifter, man. He looked like a, you know, in the old 60s, you know what I mean?"
Luther Vandross.
No, I'm going before that, the four tops and that, you know what I mean? Honestly, I thought he was going to start breaking into dance, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's like I said, I can live with being bald. Don't worry, man. I've been bald. I've been bald.
No,
since
listen,
I
you
was
see the
little.
thing with me?
Hairstyles.
Bald looks good on me.
Yeah.
Hair looks good on me.
Same
I'm just
here.
one of them niggas that just look good anyway.
Same
so
here.
I-
This is the
Okay,
thing,
bro.
Yo.
Sorry to sound like that.
Why for that word? Why for that word,
You get
YouTube?
me?
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you the truth.
Yeah.
I tell you
Yeah.
what, like,
I'm just saying,
I'll get robbed.
IGGA then.
Yo,
You
get
get me?
out your tug mode now.
I'm
Get
a-
straight in the face back up.
Yeah, he's doing his
Back to Mac.
Back to
doing his
back.
fuck
I'm so
thing.
sorry, viewers.
He's
and
so
subscribers
sorry.
and listeners.
So what else is going on with you then, Joe? What else is going on with you?
Ah, God. So yeah, last couple of months we were just working with different artists and bits and pieces. I said to Mac,
Anything
wait.
big that we've got look
Yeah.
look forward to coming out?
there's a new track out with Right Said Fred,
I'm
which is
too sexy for my shirt.
Absolutely.
Yo, get him on the podcast, bro.
we will have to we'll sort
Let's
something
get
out.
Right Said down, man. You know what I mean?
It's definitely-
Is it true? So Right Said Fred, the lead singer, are they brothers?
Yes.
Right now, is their other brother the guy from the Crystal Dome, or is that?
Sorry, say that again.
Have they got is the other brother the guy from the Crystal Dome, the bald-head guy who does the Crystal Dome?
No.
Right, because everyone used to say years ago they're all
Yes.
brothers.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so we've just that is something I wanted to know for years.
Exclusive.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but they are brothers, Right Said Fred, aren't they? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
the guys,
Yeah.
the guys are great. They started working with my dad in 2001, and it just progressed from there. But they've got a new track out called Wunderbar, which we're currently promoting. Which is
Can I have the remix on it?
absolutely.
Who's-
We're gonna
let
send
me
you.
do
a
it.
re-
Who's
What
been
why
the-
for that? Why?
who's been the
No,
best
Right
artist
Said
on
Fred.
the
Oh, right.
Or that you found the easiest to work with?
God, that's a tough question, but I think I've really loved more recently doing work with Jim Davidson, the comedian.
No
just
way, do you
because-
know Jim?
Yeah,
I love Jim.
Yeah,
He
come
knows
to a
everything.
show.
Bro.
Come to a show.
Bro, hook it
No,
up.
but listen, yeah,
I love Jim.
Shout out to Vicky Nash, who's Jim's agent.
Yes,
She is
Vicky
like
Nash.
the
How are you, Vicky
No,
Nash?
no,
Yo,
Vicky
Jim
Nash,
D,
she
man.
is,
I'm coming. I'm
like,
coming.
She is absolutely quality, and she's been helping me out with a few bits. And so I just I think getting to do that is great. Just
I
because
watch his
everyone
podcast
loves-
all the time.
Everyone loves
His
Jim.
little
I'm not
rants and
giving
that.
it to
I
Joe.
think
Yeah.
he's fucking brilliant.
Joe is versed. You get me? He's well versed.
Yeah.
He's known, and he's through the industry.
Yeah.
He's known well.
You can tell you hold yourself very well as well, anyway, bro. So
Yeah, no,
thank
I
you.
don't see that as a.
And
Yeah.
we're going to be
Yeah,
working
yeah,
together as well, Joe. We're going to be doing some tracks together, innit? You know what I
Absolutely,
mean?
that's what I was just going on to say. Me and Mac have been saying literally since we met each other in 2020 that we're going to work on a track together, and I think this is the year we got to do something.
Listen,
haven't
it's
we?
not the
We gotta
year.
do something.
Next week, I need the beat.
That's it.
I need the beat, man. Like, that's how quick we
And
do
after
it.
everything we spoke about, I'll get on the track if you want. Just
Yeah,
let's
let's
do it.
Bumper ding
Let's
ding
do
ding,
it.
bumper ding ding. Bumper ding. Yes, bro.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We just
You
dug
got
it
Bro,
out.
that tune blew up, bro. That tune blew up.
Yeah, what you man need to understand is I'm a proper Punjabi, you know.
Yeah, come on,
Proper
man.
Punjabi.
Mate,
Yeah.
My roots, bro.
Rep the team,
Listen,
what
if
you
you work
mean?
for my people, bro, if you know your history, bro.
I
look
know
at
my
World
history,
War
bro.
II,
Listen.
You get
Listen,
And
man.
my people.
You know what I
And
mean?
my people.
You know
Don't
your
forget.
thing, you know your
My
thing,
people
bro.
too.
And my people, whatever they are, I don't know what Irish. No, I mean I'm going back roots. I could have been. I don't know what the fuck I was a million years ago.
Nah, but
I might have been an alien.
Bro, like,
You know what I mean?
You
Even
might
though
have.
I don't, I'm not
You're
fully
not fully-
religious and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
bro. I don't look,
Nah,
at my
look-
tattoos and that, bro. Like,
But bro, at the
you
end
know
of the
what I
day,
mean?
man.
Sikh warriors
At the end
and
of the
that,
day, you're
like,
Indian, be proud, and that's the main thing. That's the main thing.
Absolutely.
innit?
Absolutely.
Temple warriors,
Where do you
bro.
get that
Like,
from?
I've had it coming up to the year now. Like that.
Hey,
See
show
this
the
guy
camera,
here?
the detail in that is mad.
Yeah, it's not fully done yet.
The detail in
He's
that
not
is
fully
mad.
why for that.
It's not fully
Yeah, I
done
don't.
yet.
He's not fully done yet. That's why
I
he
said
said.
it's not fully
He
done.
said he's not fully done
Burn
yet.
him man up and up.
Burn it
Listen,
up.
don't
Hey,
make
but look,
me
we
start-
Listen, I will let you in my man. I will let you in my man
We've got
bag.
10 minutes
You
left.
know, he said, yo.
Yeah, so Joe, you've said it live on the podcast. You're gonna give me you're gonna give me you're gonna let me do a remix of the All Right Said Fred, and we'll get it out there. We'll turn it into something funky as well. You know,
Absolutely.
I'm not saying you're not. I mean,
No,
you do the Right Said Fred, but we will turn it into something like where it's like, you know, the clubbers will get down to it. Do you know what I
can't
mean?
wait for that.
What else are you working on now?
I've just done a track with the Reggae Granny. I don't know if any of you have heard of her.
Reggae
We've
Bro, the one
redone-
who's just been on Little Line Sound.
We've just
Not Granny.
we've just
No,
done the,
bro.
We've done the
Bro, she's cold, man.
we've
She's
done
cold, man.
the-
The girl on Line Sound with them in the Line Sound.
Oh, maybe it's
Lion Sound.
Yeah, the Line
maybe
Sound.
it might be someone different actually. I'll play it to you guys.
The Reggae
afterwards
Granny?
Anyway. We'll play. Yeah, the Reggae
Yeah,
Granny.
that's her, innit?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
yeah, she's-
But yeah, we've just redone.
She's bad.
We've
I
just
really
redone the
don't have a
Vibes
clue.
Cartel track, Clarks, and we've done it as
Oh, how
Crocs.
it from?
So I sent it to
You
you
know what?
actually.
Crocs.
We redid it as Crocs. Yeah.
Right,
So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he's
sort
not
of
really,
a
is he?
real Grandem walking with the crutch. Early birds know all the best spots. Everybody's asking
Man,
Nan
so
where
look
she gets
out
her
for that one.
Crocs. You know,
Yeah.
basically, yeah. I'll
Real
send you
Why
guys.
have
Grandem.
something.
you know a tune like that though? You put that out a pop.
Man,
That's it. I did.
I wear Crocs. Everyone wears Crocs.
This
No,
is
no,
I
it.
never worn them.
And do you know on the day of
Not
releasing
everyone.
that track,
Not everyone
I
did.
saw
Yo,
like
he's
4
wearing
people that I was in a
he's
restaurant
wearing
with wearing.
Crocs and Clarks in yard. Don't lie.
Yeah,
We're talking
Clarks.
about Crocs
Clarks.
and
Nah,
Clarks.
Clark's kickers.
Nah, I want to hear what Joe
Man,
was saying
come
though,
on,
because I
Clarks.
was interested. Though.
Oh no, I was just saying on the day you talk about like things happening and you just being like, yes, I'm doing the right thing. The day that we released the Crocs track, I was in a restaurant and I saw 4 other people with Crocs on, and I was like, that's a sign.
That's a sign.
That's a
That's a
sign,
sign.
right?
They got fancy
But I'm
Crocs,
holding it at Jim Davison as well, man.
Absolutely, you come down, stay with Mac. We'll go to a Jim Davidson show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, do
definitely.
you know Paul Chowdhury in that?
Don't know him personally,
You have to
but
know, man. I need to know
No,
someone
but
so
you
I can
know,
come
so,
in.
wait,
So-
give us a quick rundown on some of the people you used to have on your podcast, because each podcast he was working with some people.
so like
he's working with David, isn't it?
yeah, so like David Icke is I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to say that, but
David
he's
Icke,
he's
yeah,
a bit he's a big
Man.
influence to me on the way that I kind of view the world. So to get to work with him was great. Katie Hopkins, I know a lot of people. She's a very divisive character,
I
but
think she's funny.
where I'd obviously done a lot of like victim, as I said to you earlier on the podcast, victim support. When I was getting out of music, I really just wanted to do something different. So I went into victim support work, and where I'd done some work with the Palestinians and the aid, I was a bit worried kind of going to work with Katie that she might be like, oh my God, it's that guy. But do you know what? She honestly could not have been nicer. She was really lovely. Obviously the Freds are great, but they're more like uncles to me, to be honest, at this point.
We want to meet him as well, man. We want to meet the right said Fred.
Absolutely.
Definitely, man.
Get him on the podcast, man.
I said that 2 minutes.
After this,
you know who I'd love on here? I would love Jim Davison on there because he's got the same views as me.
Absolutely.
Get Jim on the podcast, bro.
Maybe me and you should do a little an edgy, uncensored one time.
Definitely.
Where we just go through a few bits.
Definitely.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because Mac will tell you I don't have a filter.
Yeah.
I have to try really hard, and you'll see Mac doing this. That's what he does to me. So allow it, fam.
I mean, yeah, obviously getting to work with Mega on that track, I've already kind of explained what the So Solid crew kind of meant to me, and it would mean exactly the same to get on a track with Mac, to be honest with you. But yeah, Craig David.
Craig David, can I get a rewind? I love Craig. Craig's a sound guy. He's humble, man.
Yeah,
he's humble guy, man.
You know, whenever he comes back to the city as well, you know, he really embraces his people. You know, he is really a story of someone who came from nothing. So, you know, I know that he lost himself a little bit along the way, but
Mark
been guilty of that.
Mark from the original lineup of Artful Dodger. Yeah. Mark, him and I think is it Dave? Is it Mark and Dave? They produce a lot of the stuff for Craig David, like
Mark's a lovely guy. Yeah, really nice.
Mark,
guy.
He's fantastic. He's doing a remix for me now. Actually, I'm still waiting for it. A track that did with Sweet Fame and Latitudes. So I need to chase him up on that actually. But yeah, Mark, I reckon he really helped Craig David's career as well with the garage stuff, because his production is fucking second to none. No one can knock Mark Hill's production. It is absolutely wicked.
Do you know who else was surprisingly nice as well? Was Skepta.
Yeah, Skepta's cool, man.
Yeah, like
I don't know Skepta.
So I opened for Skepta Ice Club in Ayia Napa, and I thought, I mean, he is a big dude, isn't he? I mean, when you look at him, you're just like, tall, yeah. I mean, he is a big dude. You're just like, but he got me so drunk. I mean, it was such a great night. I mean, maybe that's kind of swayed my opinion on him a little bit, but it was a good night.
Who's the biggest person you've had on your show or you've worked with? Is there anyone that's actually, or not even that you've met through your dad, that's just like wowed you, where it's like, we'll do this last question to each and every one of us, yeah. So
right, me. Honestly, it's me.
When I first,
I'm joking. I'm plugging the joke.
I think probably the biggest name drop would probably be Robbie Williams, because he used to work in the adjacent studio from where we used to work in Putney, and. You know, he was a nice guy. Never used to say thank you when I opened the door for him, but apart from that, really nice guy. But you know what I'm like? I'm so middle class, I open the door for everybody. I just like open the door, like 10 people walk past. But yeah, no, yeah, I mean, we didn't obviously get to hang out and stuff, but that was probably the biggest name.
Yeah,
what about you, Prems? Biggest name you've had on your podcast, or worked with, or met? Where you've been starstruck?
Oh, starstruck.
I don't get starstruck. I've met so many celebrities. I've been starstruck once in my life.
Starstruck. I get like, oh,
once.
Right, yeah. You know what I mean?
Once. See, obviously, I've met so many footballers through. I'm not going to go into what reason wise, but these know. I met so many footballers. I met so many pop stars.
I will tell you,
starstruck. There was one time I remember when I seen Patrick Vieira in David's barbershop here. I walked in. I thought,
I can top that.
You get me? But obviously, this is for me, though, isn't it? Like, I'm a hard die.
So I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to give the guy's name out. Who I was. Anyway, I was looking after somebody in Southport. So he says to me one day, "Yo, come up to my gaff, boom, boom, big fucking mansion, all that, boom." Takes me through his house, cinema to the right, this, that, the other. You know, I'm shutting off with his money. Down these steps into this big kitchen, boom, boom, boom. Through this pool room, he's got the fucking, I think it was Versace or Louis Vuitton, you know, tiles in the floor, like the logo. And we go up into the back garden like that, boom, stood there. Who's to the left of me?
George Michael.
Fucking Kenny Dalglish. Kenny Dalglish. He lives next door to him. He's there doing his gardening, bro. He was red as a beetroot. And he had, you know, them Australian hats on, like what they have, the fucking cork things. He had one of them on, and I was like,
King Kenny.
Is that Kenny?
Fuck.
And John's like,
So
yeah,
did
that's.
you go
See,
with that person you told me about? Obviously, I'm not going to mention it, but
Yeah. I went through the gaff in it, and no. I know you mean.
Alright.
Nah, this is a guy who I was looking after.
all right. So
Yeah, I was looking at. No, and he lived next door to Kenny Dalglish. And when I went through the back garden, it was a nice hot summer days like now, and I looked like that, and I was like, I'm stood there, and I went, Kenny. I was like, and I'm like, bro, this guy was beetroot red dough, from the sun.
Yeah.
And he's just doing his own gardening, man, just like tending to plants and that. I'm like, Kenny Dalglish doing his own garden. What a trip. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the only time I've ever been starstruck.
Sometimes you meet celebrities.
I've
don't you?
never
And it's just
ever,
like,
other than that.
It's kind of like a passing thing, but like that. To be honest with you, like that was David Icke for me. I know it sounds stupid, but getting to work, he like doing obviously all the work that we did in various different kind of things. He was just at it. But one time,
I ain't never been starstruck, man. Trust me.
There's one more guy that I know. If I met him, I don't know what I would fucking say to him, and that would be Dave Gilmour.
Dave Gilmour.
The only person I would have got starstruck for is Tupac. I would have been like, yo,
Tupac.
what the fuck? This is facts.
This is too much.
Yo, this guy.
See,
Listen.
Tupac, like,
I'll tell you facts. This guy come in my house. He's like, yo, B-Mac, rah, B-Mac. I can't believe me in B-Mac's gaff, man. Rah, that's how he was when he first met me. Starstruck to foot.
I'll tell
you believe this, right?
I'll tell you what, an awkward meeting, like the opposite end of the spectrum. So it's 2007, and like the label Junk, they get us all tickets to the Mobo Awards. I'm like, fucking brilliant. Go ahead.
Matt got battered at the Mobo Awards off Westlife.
We told that story. Have you told that story on this podcast yet?
No.
If you haven't,
So anyway,
you have to. But
tell the story.
Tell the story. I got him to tell it on, and it's the best story.
Nah, I hear him sometimes when he's in Manchester. He stay at man. I hear him with PTS dreams in his sleep. Like, no, get off me, get him off me.
He has nightmares about Brian McFadden.
Yeah, that's what he's shouting. I'm like, oh, why for that? Why is he shouting Brian? But he does it in an Irish accent. It's like, Brian, get off me. Brian, get off me. Now, Westlife fucked him up at the Brit Awards.
He's going to kill you.
Westlife beat him down, man.
You have to tell the Westlife story, but while he gets to it, like the opposite end of the spectrum was that. So,
I've told him when I see them, I'll do them in for him. He's like, yeah, no.
Get off back.
Yeah.
So like we all get these tickets to the Mobo Awards, right? 2007. I'm like, I'm fucking 16 years old. I think I'm the shit. I've got this long waving hair. I gotta get my hair done, fucking makeup, the worst. I'm wearing this fucking hideous Maharaji, like skin tight, like fucking, you know what people used to dress like in the 2000s. Fucking
Maserati.
Terrible. But they looked good at the time, but now we're sort of. Anyway, I'll go there, and there's all these people. LL Cool J, great. Take a picture. And it was like an old Motorola fucking flip of N-Dubs. Brilliant. I actually got stuck in a lift with Dappy, but that's a different story. But one person who I was, had a really awkward encounter with was Amy Winehouse. Because I don't know if you remember, but the night after the Mobo Awards in 2007, she was actually pictured on the floor in the Sun newspaper. She'd like passed out at the awards ceremony. Yeah, and right before that, I'd gone up to ask her for a photo, and I was like, Amy, can I have a photo? She said no, and just walked off. So that was like the complete opposite end of just like awkwardness. And do you know what? She had a lot going on, so I'd never
I met all that circle because I for a short while I drummed for Pete Dockett, from
right. Yes,
Baby
I know
Shambles.
Pete, yes.
So I went out with. I was his minder every time he come to Manchester. I was his minder.
Crazy guy.
Yeah, so it was like.
Met him since
I'm not joking with you, bro. I didn't know he was fucking that tall. Yeah. So anyway, we're at a club in Ashton called Moo Underground or whatever it was called, Ashton Underground. I can't remember the name of the club. It was Underground, some Underground Live. And the fucking place is packed. There's no drummer. I remember my friend Dave is like, there's no drummer. And I'm stood on the stage like this. There's only me on the stage with him with fucking security wrote across my t-shirt full of steroids, you know what I mean? But they knew I could play drums and I could guitar and what have you. So I swear to God as my witness, Pete, ask Pete yourself. He's like, Dave's got to make B, get on the drums. I'm like, I said, fuck that, I'm security, bro. He's like, come on, get on the drums. The crowd's going mad. This place is packed from front to back. The fucking Ravens are bending, mate, because they're all going mental. I get on the drums, there's no sticks. So I'm like, there's no sticks. I swear to God, he got 2 bottles like Pete Dockett. He tipped them on the stage like that, and he passed me 2 bottles.
It's fucking madman, isn't he?
Bro, I had to hold a couple of beats with 2 beer bottles. 2 beer bottles. And that's the night the guy jumped on stage and banged him out. I banged the guy out, put him over the fucking railings, and then, because our girl was getting crushed.
Right.
I'm on the drums, this girl's getting crushed, so our kid's gone, like my brother Boney's gone, this girl's getting crushed, so they're all passing her over, the fucking stage collapsed, you name it, the lot.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Those little
I'm not
gigs
joking
used
with
to
you.
be mayhem.
This was a big fucking stage. It collapsed, mate. The fucking lot went
Jesus.
down, and this guy jumps up, bang Pete in the face. Give it Pete though. Pete banged him back, but this guy's trying to have it with Pete, so I twisted him up, banged him out, threw him over to my lads, and they've dragged him down the back because the crowd wanted to kill him. The next day they put in the papers, Pete Dockett is security, bullies, fucking blah. I thought, you cheeky bastards.
Yeah.
You got me on the fucking drums. So from that, they said, will you mind Pete every time he comes? So I said, yeah. And if he needs a drummer, will you do the drum? I said, yeah, cool, man. And you know what? I'm not joking with you. Pete Dockett is such a fucking cool, kind-hearted, and I mean, fantastic. He is super talented.
Absolutely.
And I told you, Pete, I told you at your last gig, you can't sing for shit. But your fucking music is amazing. It is amazing.
Do you know
he
what
is
I love
lyrically.
about Pete is he really is the type of guy. He's an artist. He's the type of guy that, like, if he had never had success, he'd still be out on the street corner.
Yeah,
playing
but
his
you know
guitar,
what? He
singing
would
to
sit in his
people.
podcast
He's
with
just
us
that
now,
kind of guy.
Pete, and he would treat every single one of you as like he'd known you for 25 years. He is such a nice guy, and I'm glad he's clean. You know what I mean? You've seen him.
haven't seen him since
he's clean. He's finished with it all.
Only photos.
Yeah, I'm glad he's clean, and I'm glad he's doing well with his
done well
tours.
with being clean.
He's such a nice guy.
You weren't. You
Such a
weren't.
nice guy, man.
My team weren't though. You get me?
What's
Yeah.
that?
Drugged out and high as motherfuckers. We weren't.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
Do you
Hold on a
know-
minute.
do you know though,
I
Mac?
was reading articles.
Mac.
Listen, I was reading articles about.
How we spent mad dough.
He'll tell you though, that, like they used to, they
That's what we did.
take those chosen artists out, like they do it all the time. Like I said,
No.
the Mobile Wars, they'd fill us up. With
I heard,
drugs and food.
You see what we
I
done?
heard, and this
We
was
were
in the magazines.
We was done, innit?
I heard this was in the magazines. Yeah, I heard after the beating with Westlife that they all needed like therapy and medication, and they all started eating the drugs and
We
that.
should have had therapy before the beating.
Anger
Oh,
management.
yeah, you admitted it.
No, I didn't.
You said before the beating.
No, I'm saying because we beat them, but I'm saying we should have therapy.
What, did
before
you-
that.
Yeah, quickly, just tell them what happened, bro. Tell them what happened.
Wait.
You haven't heard
Tell
this
them what
story.
happened.
You've got to tell this
Solid
story.
crew.
This is like the
A
most.
fucking Westlife.
Yeah, at the
Started
Brits.
cracking.
At the Brits,
Mate,
man.
it
No,
honestly,
they
type
didn't
of.
get it cracking.
Did you get hair gel in your eye or anything, by any chance?
nails? They had nails. in
Man,
it.
they're
Mascara coming
Nah,
out and that.
you know,
Mascara and that.
honestly, like fucking.
Mascara, no, how did mascara coming out?
You know them kind of, they used to
Nah,
wear
you gotta
mascara
tell the
and that.
viewers now. You gotta tell the
Nah,
viewers.
fuck,
now.
Brian-
Right, viewers, the
Go on.
thing is basically we're going up to collect our awards at the Brit. So yeah, as you're walking past, Brian was clapping, applauding us, but at the same time he was applauding, he was saying scum, scum, scum.
To every member that went past.
Scum. So I put the word out.
No, that's what he's telling you the
That's
truth,
what he was
isn't it?
doing.
This is what he was on.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
doing that as we're walking past him. Something like that, huh? But then one of our members was like one of our smallest members must have said, "Wait, there, hold on, are you chatting?" Gave him one time. He tried for a glass. We're on the stage and we saw that happening. That was it.
Yo, he just went.
Every man that flew off the stage, jumping over tables, over there, just gave him a quick beating.
Can't take
And
these
said,
man
"No,
from
no,
the hood anyway.
No, but you know what though? In all fairness, it was an idiot thing. You get me? Because really and truly, when you get into
Yeah.
certain industries and certain walks
Yeah,
of
you
life,
gotta be.
you gotta know how to
Come on,
conduct
bro.
yourself. You get me?
But when
Role
someone's
models.
giving
No,
you
but I
racial
understand that. I
slurs
know,
like
but
that,
you know
bro,
what it
it's
is?
hard to.
You gotta look at your surroundings, innit?
Mm.
And see where you at. That was a big
Yeah,
hindrance in our career.
yeah.
Do you
Definitely.
understand
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Because Westlife, you gotta
yeah, they
think.
were massive.
So what he's doing, people, he's not saying he's bigging it up. He's just telling you a story
You
of what
understand?
happened.
We're
He's not saying it's right.
glamorising
It was
You
a
understand?
hindrance.
There's
You know what I mean?
glamorization
Yeah.
there. You understand? So there's a lot of things, as you'll see in time as we're going on this podcast and we're talking and and we talk about certain situations that happen around me. There's a lot of them you'll see that are gonna object to them because they're idiot things. You get me?
They're not
You
true.
understand?
So that's a lot of this podcast is.
The thing is, if that
Basically-
thing happens to you
Come on.
now,
Yeah, he deserved
you-
the clap.
He
being
did.
older
I know
and
he
wiser.
wasn't good
Or
for
we
the
could have pulled to the
situation.
side.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. You should have. Yeah.
Our rule.
Yeah.
Do you know what, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Since me and Mac have been chilling together, we honestly, people always affiliate my name with violence and crime. They did it with Mac. He did it with him for 20 years, you know what? But
Wait,
they
no,
did
look
it.
what happened
What
to
are you
you.
talking
No, you
about?
posted the post last night, and then
You ready?
he posted the
You ready?
post. about the
No,
the
seriously,
podcast.
listen,
Nah,
bro.
it's
posted a
handbags.
post on
We
the-
told you that's what it's
Wait.
social.
No, hear
Brent,
this,
Brent,
this is real,
He
this.
posted a post from the podcast
Yeah.
last week.
Last night.
Last night. From the podcast last week.
Yeah. Sick podcast.
Bro,
Make sure you check it
all
out,
day,
people.
man is just going by my old affiliated name, what I used to go with. Everyone on there just commenting to me like, "Bro, calling me by my road name, what I used to go by." You get me? Because of the
All
fact-
saying like, yo, Matt was proper back in the day.
like,
Matt,
the
proper
bad
guy.
boys, all
And
that.
giving his street name what he was. Oh no, I tell her like the last story before we go. It's not funny and it is, right? Because what happened wasn't funny. So I've got to give Mac is a stand-on guy. This is the day when I knew Mac has got my back. So I get bit one day on the face. So I go in the bedroom and say, yo, Mac, give me the car key, bro.
Hey, he looked like wait, I was sleeping. He came in and he was like, "Yo, man, give me the car key." I looked up. He looked like he had a fucking seizure or some shit. His face was like
Face was like this,
I
bro.
was like, "Yo."
So I'd been bit by something in it, but I mean, my face was like the Elephant Man. So I said, yo, I need to go and get, because I can get the pens in it, you know, the EpiPens.
EpiPen, yeah.
Yeah, you know, the antihistamine one doing that for it. So I go down to the A&E. We get into the A&E. He goes, "No, I'll come with you." There's nobody in there. There's only us two. So it's a quiet day, innit, at the A&E. I've never seen that before. We're sat there.
No, it's quiet though.
This kid walks in, strutting his stuff, man. Little small stocky cunt. He's like to the nurse, but he's a male nurse, innit? And I'm not being rude when I say, but this guy wasn't the kind of guy that would fight or, you know, I'm not talking about the nurse. I mean the nurse. He's a nice, pleasant guy, innit? You know what I mean? And the guy's going to him, "Hey, listen, this fucking pain's not going to get me some more painkillers." So he's going, "Look, I've asked the doctor. The doctor said, no, you've got to wait a certain amount of hours before you can have your next pain relief." He's like, "Why are you standing in my space? I'm starting, doing all that. I'm alarmed and distressed." I went, "Yeah, bro, it's a fucking nurse. Leave him alone." He's gone to me, "Yeah, well, I feel like he's threatening and intimidating me." I said, "Leave." He's gone, "Wallop and knock this nurse out, man." This nurse is at the deck. But prior to that, literally 5 minutes before that, the murder squad are walking in. There's something's happened. Someone's been murdered. Because now all the CID and Bear Dibble have coming in to all asking about this body. So me and him have jumped up. So I've gone toe to toe with him. Matt's come over, clack, took his teeth out, bro. His teeth have just gone that way. This little fucker's got, I'm on the floor, kneeing him in the head. This little fucker's got my little finger, he's bent it back to me, I am there. The police have come flying out, I've gone, "Matt, just get off him," like, you know, because I didn't want him to get nicked. So I'm like, "Get off him, Matt, just leave him, just allow it." And I've just got my knee in his neck and it just, the police are going, "Let him go." I said, "He's got me fucking finger." Wallop. Nah, I'm not letting go of shit until he lets go of my finger.
Anywhere, can you?
Right? Now, but get on this, yeah? I'm not joking with you, yeah? The police, they twist him up or whatever. So they say, the doctor comes out, grabs me and takes us straight in and goes, "Yo, these guys have just knocked a guy out there. Get the bloods done, get him checked out and get him sorted now."
Get him out of it.
You know what I mean? The police have come in like, "We need to take your names," and that we're like, "Look, no comment. We don't want to give a statement. We don't want to do anything." What happened? She said, but she knew in the night. She went, "I know you're not going to tell me anything anyway." Do you know what I mean? But I thought, I can't, you know, and as soon as she come in, I did say, didn't I? Went, "I did everything. He didn't do now." He's my guest down there, you know what I mean? I'm not letting him get nicked from it. I said, "I did everything. He didn't do that." She went, "Look, are you going to give us a story?" No statements, blah, blah, blah.
They're not saying, these two ain't
Yeah,
saying nothing.
that's what the nurse said. To be in, what is it like, when they look after you, like they're being cared for by us and we're not letting them speak to you.
Yeah.
But the police woman went, "Look, we don't need a statement anyway, blah, blah, blah." We said, "Look, we're not coming to court. We're not doing nothing. We're not giving you no names. We're not doing now. We just want to get in and get out. That's it." Bro, they allowed it, innit? Bro, and then I started having a problem with my kidney. I go back into the hospital.
Every couple of minutes, but
you know what I mean? And then they've gone like,
just seeing
bro,
them
straight through, boom. You know what I mean?
VIP
you know what I mean? Like, you know, looking after me and that. Yeah, just start banging people up, you know what I mean? You get seen quicker.
Everybody's terrified.
No, but like I say, I mean, at the end of the day, everyone slags the NHS off, right? I'm just going to get this out there, last point before we go. But at the end of the day, right, if there wasn't an hospital on the end of that road, you'd be fucked and I'd be fucked. Do you know what I mean? Regardless of what people say about them.
No one can't slag off the NHS. Yeah,
they're underpaid, they're understaffed.
Trust me.
And everyone's like, you know, Boris Johnson, go out and give him a clap. What a fucking arsehole. Do you know what I mean? Give him a clap. Why are you going up the wages, man? They're working around the fucking clock.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Down to the porters, down to the cleaners, down to the people that serve you tea and coffee, down to just nurses that change the bedding. They're all working round the clock and they're not looked after proper. You can see that if you spend as much time as in hospital I have, they are not looked after the way they should be looked after.
It's a broken
That's just
system.
my
Just look
opinion.
up anything,
Do you know what I mean?
anything
It is
you
a
get
broken
wrong with
system.
you. Imagine you wake
Listen,
up today-
everyone in North Manchester General, yeah, when I got fucked up a few times and I had to have my
Trust me,
knees replaced
you're
and they
on
tried
job.
cutting my
You're on
feet
job.
off and all fuckeries, you've done everything,
No,
blah, de, blah, blah, you've looked after me
No, I
with a
salute
kidney
them, you know why,
thing,
fam?
boom.
Because
That's what I'm
we
saying
got
to you.
so much
Thank you very much.
We got so much hospitals in London, fam. But the way you lot get rapid treatment and get dealt with quick up here, I'm rating it. I'm like, yo, I could move up here for that hospital.
Rapid
set.
treatment, go MRI, bro. You waiting 11
Am I
hours?
right? No, it's thing, fam. It's rapid.
Yeah,
When they go
yeah.
there, it's rapid, fam. I'm like, yo. And that hospital was always
me,
just
yo.
like moves fast.
Do you know what
Yeah,
though?
yeah,
Like
you're looking like a
I've
fucking-
noticed,
you'll get
like
I've got a lot of
back on-
doctor mates, so they don't give me priority though.
I've noticed.
Not saying nothing bad about London, though. Please don't.
No,
Don't
NHS
refuse me.
all over the
Don't
world,
refuse
man.
me when I get
And
my-
this
Yeah, but
is
London's
what's
this
wrong.
big,
This
Manchester's
is what's
this big.
wrong
So
with the
we keep cutting
NHS
him.
people.
No,
I
They
was just
prioritise people like this when people are really ill.
Wait,
Or
No,
fucking
I was just
sitting
gonna
there waiting for hours.
Listen, you're Indian, you've got to have an uncle that's a doctor or something
know
like that.
what?
'Cause a lot
Dental,
yeah, dental, yeah.
Cultural appropriation.
Why for that, bro?
He got deported last
Why-
week. innit?
why for that?
Joe, sorry to cut you, Joe. Carry on what you said.
I was just gonna say, like, coming up north, like, so I have friends up here. I do a bit of work up sort of Nottingham way. That kind of. It's just like the people in restaurants are so friendly. People still say hello to each other. And I've got a theory. It's because Northerners are not afraid to moan. Like if something goes wrong, you go back up to the counter and you're like, look, I didn't ask for the mashed potato. We just sit there, don't we, down the south? We're just like,
we have a problem.
I'll eat the mashed
up in
potato.
the-
Like-
Up in the north, they're very face first. Isn't
Yeah.
It? They come straight direct.
Mm.
Londoners will sit there like, I don't like my guy.
Yeah, the
Yeah, but
slide-
isn't it funny?
Slide cuts there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, London's a slide thing. You get
It's
me?
crazy how like you kind of put that distance between yourself and another person, whereas up here, okay, like I said, I feel like people are more inclined to go in and if someone's made a mistake. But isn't it weird how much more friendly and everyone talks?
That's
that
what
is
I love
than
about
down south?
Manchester.
Yeah,
The culture and the diversity is
No, but you know what?
it's
I see-
brilliant. Everyone gets on with everyone.
I see it.
Absolutely.
It starts from such an early age.
Yeah.
The kids up in Manchester are way forward,
Yeah.
much more forward than the kids in London. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
because of the truth.
Yeah.
Most kids that I see. in
I
London-
couldn't answer that question
No, I'm
because I
saying
can't.
most kids
you
in
know.
London, they're a bit reserved. Kids in Manchester, no, it's hanging. Why are you gonna do that? They're just you
Yo,
get me?
the accent. No, it's hanging. Why are you going to do that?
How you can be from London
Bro,
and putting on
what
a
is
London
that?
accent?
What's
Like,
that?
what the
Why
fuck?
for that accent? Yo,
He'd be from London. He's
Yo,
putting on a
why is
London
that
accent.
mad?
Like, what?
A chavvy London accent.
what was that? Why? It's hanging. No, I mean, about me. You know what I mean? Nah, allow it, fam. Allow it.
I'll pay you lot to like it's there. It's wrong. It's hanging. It's alright.
Have you heard these?
We didn't talk like that back in my
blood, you
day,
get me,
did they,
Hey,
mate?
man's on a ting right now, you get me? Man's
That's
on
it.
a mad ting right now, you get me, fam?
Go,
Yes, blood, yes, blood.
We're up tempo. You
Yeah,
lot
these,
too
a lot
late.
of these.
It's
I'll be
hanging.
honest with you. I've
hanging.
fucked with a lot of people from London, and my experience is there's a few good ones. Like I said, it's big up. I said it last time. Robbie Lyle. I don't know if you know him. But if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be doing the YouTube thing as well. He's probably the biggest guy that I've had on my channel. He's helped me up getting, doing a lot of stuff and giving me the opportunity as well. But obviously meeting a lot of other people around London and that, and being in the kind of scene.
London
There's a lot
scene.
of fake man as well, bro.
Yeah.
And
So I'll tell you
they
something.
only want to know you
London's sneaky.
for
fam.
what they can benefit from.
London's
you by
Why do you
being-
think many
not by- not
people
like,
who
we
pop
just
off
wanna
go
know
straight
you
to
if you're
London?
good, you get me?
Wait, why do you
That-
think my
that-
circle's like this? Tiny. I
Yeah.
roll like solo more time. You get me?
Mm.
You understand?
Like, don't worry, you get good and bad everywhere.
Yeah,
innit? But it's
no,
just-
I agree with
it's-
you on
it's
that,
one
bro.
of them
I
where,
agree with you on that.
Like, you just notice, and it's actually pretty.
But when I
bad.
go to London, though, I get
More, like,
treated a lot
up
different.
north
I get treated
people
like
Or just they wear their
royalty.
heart on the
Do
sleeve.
you know what I
innit?
mean?
They say
In
that-
Manchester, I'm
That's
just
me.
peasant.
That's me. That's
When I'm
why-
in London, I'm like,
Yeah, and
yo,
adopted
B
man.
Mac.
This
You
is
know what I
why
mean?
I'm up here.
Yeah.
It feels like me. Like when I'm up here, it feels like I go Birmingham, I go Manchester, I go anywhere in the north. It feels like the 90s back to me. It feels like this is that real shit back in the 90s when people were real.
I park my
People, they look
car.
real.
I park my car around there. I literally walk around the corner, and the guy
I'm
on the
not
corner
gonna.
was
I'm not gonna tell you
I
where,
was like, "Hello,
what
mate."
street and all that
like,
on the
we
address.
don't say
But
hello to
you
each
know
other
where
in the
you are
streets,
now?
do we?
You are in the middle of Moss Side. You are in the
Moss
heart of Moss Side,
This is where
Manchester.
I
This
live.
is
We're on
Colchester,
Rumley,
bro.
Rumley, you get me?
Yeah, you're in Moss
Everybody's
Side,
so
bro.
friendly.
And
Like
this is-
here,
and
I'm
this
coming
is
back.
super real.
Mm.
This is like murder Ave round there. You get
I
me?
don't be trying to slag off my zones and that, yo.
Wait a minute. Is it nice or is it like?
Nah, it used to be sizzling, man.
Back in the day, innit? You know what I mean?
Still is sizzling low key, but
I'm okay if I'm with you two, yeah?
we're good, man.
But listen, guys, I'm sorry to fucking kill the buzz. But I know, you know what you say about Northerners moaning? We've got one in there right now. It'd be like, Reet,
it's
fucking
time to
I
go.
told you 10 minutes ago. Well, that's fucking cornish. That's worse. Andy,
He's Brian.
you know
He's
mine
having Brian
better than
McFadden
this, bro.
PTSD again. Fuckers.
But listen, I want to shout up Joel, man. I want to shout up Joel, and I want to shout up his old man as well. Right said Fred. I want to shout out Jim Davison. Listen, Jim, I am coming to see you. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Jim. I'm going to text you and tell you that I've been with Joel.
We're forwarding to see you.
We're forwarding to see you. Wife would have come to see you.
With their handbag.
It's been a big shout having Joe on. So, Joe, thank you for coming on,
Thank
brother.
you. No, thank you for having me, guys.
It's been a big shout having Premzy on, our brother from Manet, our Indian brother from another mother. I know it's been an absolute pleasure you lot having me on. I know you're gonna say that in the comments anyway. So yeah, that's for being Mac.
And it's a pleasure for me.
And you know what?
Boy, MAC.
Having Mac on. And listen, don't think he's soft because Westlife done him because he's a tough man.
I'm sorry.
I want to big up Andrew Rush Walker. Go and follow him on his Instagram, Shot by Rush or Andrew Airdrop. Want to big up Mov, want to big up Dreadlock Ness, want to big up H&L Vodka, Rum Beat, want to big up AU Vodka, Radio Diamond, Rush, Multiverse, Breaking Bread, So Solid Crew, Next Gen, Tree Sound, All M, Mafferty, Coco Blush, Kingpins. We are live. You can catch us at Club Soul Manchester the 31st of this month. Alongside Kingpin, Soul Solid Crew, Heartless Crew, Mafferty, Coco Blush, Sub-Zero. Listen, loads on. Garage Night, it's going to be bouncing. Yeah, guys, thank you for coming on. And listen, we'll see you next time, yeah? Peace.
Don't forget to put it in the comments.
Like, share, and subscribe, people.
Did you see how I did that with him moving his lips? And we out there.
Bang, 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 bang.
Are we off?
Every show I do that. Bang, 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 bang.
That was a hard show.